What is up, beautiful people? Welcome to How to Trade, formerly known as the Midday Show. That right there is your girl Adara, and I'm Sharif. And I'm going to wait for everyone to come on over from the other side. Brankles, hang out and keep your eyes on the chat. Brankles, hang out and keep your eyes on the chat just for one quick sec, because we're going to show you some love, my man, once everybody comes in. We already have the Crazy Stitch Lazy. We got Chase Bands. We got Darwin. We got Derek Pillsbury. Yes, we already have a $2 super chat from Chase Bands. Thank you very much for that super chat. It says, always an awesome job. Sincerely yours, Mara Husband, Mr. Longshorts, Mateus Lane, Darwin, D-Loaf. What's up, guys? Fiddleback, we got Borja, we got NECA, James Foster, Thomas Johnson, Igor, Sebastian, Mary L. Midnight. Listen, guys, I think Brankles did one hell of a job. I think he's naturally hilarious, and he went really well with Sean. Throw up ones for my man Brankles in the chat. They're going to be coming fast. They're going to be coming furious. Brankles, keep your eye on the chat, my man. Good morning, Dan. Good morning, Arsenal Adam. What's up, guys? Coffee Trader, Hal R, Christopher R. We even have Adara in the chat as well. She's throwing up ones, baby. I'm going to throw up my ones. Throw up ones for my man Brankles. This man needs to be told that he did a fantastic job. There it comes, my man. Loving that coming in. Thank you very much, Brankles, for killing it as always. Good morning, Adara. Good morning. Yeah, again, shout out to Brankles for killing it. I feel very lucky that I was able to learn when I first started here. I wasn't even supposed to be trading when I started, but I still, Brankles was great and just kind of taught me the lay of the land, even though I knew next to nothing, probably more than nothing. So much support here. Also, Ramin deciding to go, or is that Fabian?
Spamming the chat, bro.
I think Fabian.
Yeah.
Going the extra mile here with the one. So, but in all seriousness, thank you so much to Brankles and Sean. Great team, killing it there.
Yeah, straight up.
On the main show. But for now, Fabian's like, yes, it was me.
Yes.
But yeah, honestly, what a day. I know you have a trade that you would like to discuss.
I got out of it. I just got out of it. We shorted 178.30 on AMZN. Then we were nicely about like 40 pennies in the money on this one. But alas, this market's too strong, baby. We're bouncing off 18.5 with the viciousness there. As Adair likes to say, here's the look at the NQ June contract. We were ranging at that 18.5 all morning. I didn't have eyes on this for some reason. For whatever reason, I was not concentrating on the future today. I was looking at Reddit. I was looking at Lulu, Nike, FedEx, everything that, didn't end up working out for me. We'll get to that a little bit later. What's up? It's over here? Right like that?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. Ram instructing me to do better with the mic, baby. Yes, but anyway, 18.5 defended multiple times. We did break it here in the pre, but that's neither here nor there. Look at these prints right after the bell. 500 ends up holding to a dang T on the NQ June contract. So that precipitated this market pump to the high side, and we had to flatten out our AMZN short. But here's the look on Amazon. I mean, every time we kept coming into the 200 period moving average, wherever it was, whether it was at 50s, whether at 40s, or right back into that level now, we keep rejecting this downtrend line or the 200 period moving average. So I, decided to take a quick short there, and not a bad look. But NVIDIA is all the strength today, the strongest of the Mag 7. Well, no, Google's the strongest of the Mag 7 names, but NVIDIA, Google and NVIDIA both performing well. NVIDIA into that 930 area. Are you looking at anything before I start the lesson?
I'm looking at a little bit of disappointment. I got involved in this Microsoft short. We watched this reject this level for a while. I probably got in a little bit too late. I think the move to the downside might have already been happening. However, we are rejecting that 427.60, which is my sign to leave. If we break above 427.60, I leave the Bill Gates. I run out of the Bill Gates, and we leave here on this Microsoft trade. But we did reject it really nicely a couple times here, that 427.60. In retrospect, should have been my entry point for the short. But you live, you learn, you grow, and you listen to this lesson about fakeouts.
Absolutely. And this is, I think, the one, we probably all need to hear. Maybe it's not the most fun one because it doesn't really explain to you a nice technique for trading, but it shows you how to not to get rinsed. And so we've been talking about pullbacks all week, right? You're waiting for a big move up, and then you're waiting for a pullback into a key level. You get long on that level, and then you continue in the upward trend. Same thing works for the short. You're in a big downtrend. You wait for a pull up. You get short at a key level, and you wait for the downtrend. But what happens if that move back up on the short or that move back down on the long doesn't stop? And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to be talking about getting faked out on a pullback, and it's actually a trend reversal. One of the tougher things to spot, especially for newer traders. Let's get to it. So pullback trades offer great entry points, right? Because you don't chase it, you're not at highs, you're waiting for a pullback. But there's a sneaky villain lurking apparently, and it goes by the name of the fake out. Let's learn how to identify and defend against these deceptive price movements. They sound so sinister, Darren.
They are.
Right?
They are.
Yeah. So understanding fake outs. A fake out, essentially, like I just explained, is a pullback that tricks you into thinking that the trend is changing, right? Only to reverse course and continue in the original direction. Here's an example. This is a bearish pullback on a fake out, right? So you think, okay, look, the trend is reversing. Right back down we go, and we end up making newer lows. This is the US dollar and the Japanese yen. So it's Forex, but it doesn't really matter. Everything still applies. So you're making lower highs, lower lows. You're staying true to that upper trend line. Then the market makers or the algos or whoever wants to fake you up. They want to take all those stops, get everybody offside, and then let the trend continue in the original direction to make new lower highs and lower lows. Perfect example. Thanking you for adding that in, Adara. So why do fake outs happen? What is the mechanism that causes them to happen? We need to understand. So the first is stop loss hunting, like I just finished explaining. What's going on over there, Katina Man? The Katina Man is still short Tesla at 17170. So keep your eyes on that trade with the Katina Man, short Tesla at 170. So stop loss hunting, one of the reasons that fake outs happen. So traders might place stop loss orders just below support or just above resistance for downtrends. Fake outs can trigger these orders, forcing losing traders and potentially pushing the price further in the original direction. So as we know, there's algos that stop hunt. You know, if you believe in the whole level 3 theory, the market makers are looking to take your money as well. So there's a lot of reasons why these happen. But there's also profit taking. Let's be real about it. People could be looking to wet their beaks on some money here. They've held the trade well, they're in the money nicely, and they don't want to see a lot of those profits dwindle. So they wet their beak. They take their profits. They put out those profit-taking orders. So traders already in profitable positions might close their trades during a pullback, causing a temporary price dip in an uptrend or a rise in a downtrend. Again, we're talking about both the long and the short when it comes to these fake outs, okay? So how do you identify? What are some techniques you can use to identify the fake out red flags, right? So the first one is a weak pullback, pardon me. So you're looking for fake outs often involve shallow pullbacks that don't reach key support and resistance levels. Be cautious of pullbacks that seem insignificant compared to the overall trend. So what am I talking about here? Well, on Tuesday, we talked about pullbacks into support and resistance. On Wednesday, we talked about the measured move pullback. And these are all ways you can kind of gauge where the price should retrace to on that particular instrument. You should be a little suspicious if it doesn't make it back up into that key price, okay? Again, this is gonna be more of like repetitions to be able to figure out what levels are key and what levels are insignificant. A lot of screen time, a lot of reps, I think that would help with that. But there's also the way of a lack of confirmation that you can spot these fake outs. Remember, the confirmation tools from the previous lessons, like divergence, like we talked about yesterday, or strong candlestick patterns, like we talked about in that week a while ago on candlestick patterns, their absence during a pullback might indicate a fake out. If the breakout candle fails to make a lower low, for example, in a bullish trend or a higher high, in a bearish trend, it may be a signal of a fake out. So keep your eye on that. lack of confirmation. And then the third way is to look at unusual volume. And by unusual, I mean like lighter volume than would typically be the case. So sometimes fakeouts are accompanied by lower trading volume compared to the overall big trend, the main trend. This can suggest a lack of conviction behind the price move. And here's a great example. And again, thank you for adding this in Adara. So we keep, is this the one? Labeled fakeout, fading opportunities. So which one is it?
Yeah, this one, sorry, this is the one where it's, this is the actual
This is the
fake
first one, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So this was the one that I was talking about. This is the fake out. So keep your eye on the volume here. So here we're breaking down, yet the volume is going higher. The green volume is going higher. So a little bit of the opposite look there. So keep your eye on weak pullbacks that don't come into key areas of support or resistance. Look for a lack of confirmation, right? Where you're not seeing divergence or you're not seeing the right candlestick or chart patterns, and keep your eye on light volume. That might also indicate that the fake out is, well, the pullback is fake. So how do you defend against these fake outs? What are some techniques that you could possibly use? The first one is strict stop loss placement, right? Don't place stop loss orders too tight, right? Give the price some breathing room during pullbacks to avoid fake out triggers. Consider trailing stop orders as well that adjust as the price moves in your favor. And here is a nice example. Well, we'll get to that in a second, okay? There's also proper risk management strategies that you can employ here. So you can always maintain proper risk management. Don't risk too much on a single trade, right? Especially during pullbacks when you're going against the trend with a high fake out potential. So risk management, key. We talk about that at almost every lesson. And patience is key, guys, right? Don't rush into a trade based on any pullback willy-nilly. Wait for a pullback with strong confirmation signals. Wait for it to come into that support or resistance level or that key Fibonacci level. Look for divergence like we talked about yesterday. Try to check all those boxes, as many as you can. You're not going to always check them all, if even half, but as many as you can to kind of put yourself in the best statistical odds position to take a winning trade, all right? And here, this is, okay, so this is, I don't know which one this is. Okay,
oh,
so
yes,
I'll have to do these after.
I feel like I struggled with the labeling of some of these.
Oh, it's all good.
I
I'll mention them. I'll mention them second time around once I've had an opportunity to look at it. So here's a couple of bonus tips, though. Imagine fakeouts as the market testing your commitment to the trade. Be patient, guys, and use proper risk management to avoid getting fooled by these deceptive breakout price movements. Stay vigilant. Don't let fakeouts derail your pullback trading strategy. Hope that helps everybody. And yes, and I'm happy that I got out of this AMZN position because those higher lows came and they were indicative of possible higher highs, and it absolutely pumped up there into 178.50. I haven't had a look at the future. Are we positive? No, we're just down 0.07% on the NQ, so it looks like we're really trying to head positive here as we break through, or we're breaking into 18,550. So nice look right now in the future.
Yeah, and thank you so much for that lesson there, Sharif, for going over that and those charts. And yeah, what a market we have, and especially too with pullbacks, it's always very important to kind of have your eye on everything and look at different levels and different types of confirmation. Also, I want to mention Phony Baloney saying, guys, can you discuss how to handle fake outs on extremely volatile stocks like NVIDIA, please and thank you. So the thing with something like NVIDIA, as has kind of been mentioned in this chat in response to that, this is a really hard stock, and you really want to make sure to have that, to strike that very hard to strike balance of being careful, making sure that you don't get chopped up, but you also want to make sure that you aren't, that you're giving it enough room to run, right? Because you need a little bit more wiggle room on some of these more volatile NVIDIA-esque stocks because they do tend to move a little bit more. So I would really say just be cautious of your own risk management. Don't go in a trade based on what someone else is saying. Go based on what you're saying and make sure that you consider risk to reward. So if you're trying to get like $1 off of NVIDIA, maybe keep that stop a little bit tighter. But if you're trying to do a hodl type thing in NVIDIA, that's where you might want to extend the stop. But of course, use your own discretion. We are not here to give advice, just to look and give our takes on charts. Also, Microsoft
Softy's
has
tanking, bro.
been, pardon?
Softy's tanking.
Yeah, I'm in a long, so that's fun.
Oh, my bad.
No, it's okay. It's
I
true.
didn't see that. Yeah.
It's a truism. No, I'm just laughing at myself here because sometimes that's what you have to do. I'm getting out of this, though, because we broke below 80s. This is another one where it's like, I think I am struggling with the sense of direction on this stock. I thought we were going to kind of maybe do a bit of a reversal here. We were in the short. The short timing was bad. We had a nice short off it earlier, scalped it. Then we held that 927 really well. So I tried to add to the position, I tried to go long, sorry, it didn't quite work out. We are down on this name, but I think to me, honestly, this is kind of like, Adara, why are you trading it? This is a trending type name. This is not a range. We have lower highs, lower lows. Happy I got it where I did, though, because we just made a lower low. If there's another short opportunity here, I might take it. But I have this really bad habit where I'll trade a stock, and then I'll be like, oh, that's the one stock I have to trade all hour. And it's like, no, Adara, there are other stocks. Just because you start trading it this one time as you began the day does not mean you are married to the stock, does not mean you have any kind of financial obligations to the stock. So there you go.
Perfect example from vis-a-vis the Chilean nightmare. The Chilean nightmare pointed out to me that Lithium Americas LAC on the NY is down and it is almost at the volume weighted average price. It bounced off VWAP last time, which prompted me to get into it. I got in half a position here because I want a planned DCA if this makes it back into the volume weighted average price. So this is a perfect example, Fabian, of a pullback on a trend, except it's intraday. So we're not looking at the daily chart, we're looking at the intraday chart, and absolutely valid in my opinion. So if you're looking for a nice move up like we see here on LAC up 6 3/4, well, where would it pull back into? Well, you have this crest over here at 677 that we had as a resistance point last time. In addition to that level, you had the volume weighted average price hanging out at 678. So you had two pieces of confluence there to support your thesis that this area could be an area to get in. But that's not always the case. Sometimes the price doesn't make it all the way down into that key area of support. So I got long at 86s in case, it went without me. And right now it is up into 92s. So we'll look to wet our beak maybe into 7. So we'll sit here at 99s, or no, we'll sit at 98s to wet our beak if it makes its way up there. Otherwise, I'll be looking to add in front of that 677, 678 area on LAC. Thank you, Fabian, for pointing that out. If you're wondering why this monster is moving, I saw LAAC, Lithium Americas Argentina, that was up on something. Yes, okay, so Scotiabank with an outperform and a price target of 8. You have Worthington Steel, so Scotiabank that upgraded LAAC, which is a derivative of LAC, obviously, right? It's just with its operations in Argentina. So LAAC trades differently than LAC, but I think that's probably what's prompting LAC to move up. Anyway, long 86s, looking to wet our beak here at 98s. We'll see what we get. Now, I haven't looked at any small cappers. We'll do that in a minute. But this 170 defend on AAPL was just absolute money today. And I was staring at this. I don't know why I didn't get into it, but I was watching this happen in real time. Anyway, it's done really well. $2.50 off that bottom. And this candle was quite indicative over here, being a bit of a reversal candle, showing you that the trend was reversing owing to that huge bottoming tail part that it has there. How big is the bottoming tail? 43 down into 7. So yeah, quite a big tail and a very small body on this name. We'll see what Apple does on the day. It's coming into that IB high that we printed there at 172.56. It hasn't been above that level, and it's had trouble breaking above the 200 period on the 5. Look at all the pops here. They're all into the 200 period with a downward slope. So we'll see if we can make any higher highs here. We haven't been able to, and whether we can close above the 200, not just wick above the 200. So good stuff to look at there.
Yeah, also, Dan Ives actually and Wedbush did comment on Apple earlier today, too.
Oh, yeah.
I think I saw that while I was at the big desk. Positive comments there from noted floral shirt enthusiast Dan Ives. In all seriousness, I do love his shirts. He's a great Twitter follow. I was telling Sharif about that. He's always posting his shirts and his talks, and he has a lot of really interesting insights on big tech. Tesla, lots of notes on Tesla, lots of notes on Apple. And kind of what he said here, this was on was this on Alphabet? I'm trying to see what he was speaking on here this morning. You know the story, this was on Alphabet, this was not on Apple. But with that in mind, let's take actually a look at Alphabet because it's a mega tech name. I saw some people mentioning that one earlier, and why not? Yeah, this is a really nice 90 EMA hold.
Nice.
We had a slightly higher high. I would be kind of worried about a double top, except look at the slightly higher high we have. Look at that hold of that 90 EMA curl. I kind of like this.
All right, let's see. Yeah, that's fantastic. Another higher low.
Exactly,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
So, and I think I love this level for whatever reason. I like that 9 EMA. So let's see what happens here. I would be vaguely tempted to get long here, except Adara, you are a range trader. Things go bad when you do not try to trade ranges. Cough, cough. Microsoft, you make decisions that don't make sense.
Hey. I saw a Reddit trade that says completely differently than that yesterday.
Thank you. That was very nice of you.
Yeah.
I appreciate
I saw that Reddit trade. We all saw that Reddit trade.
I like how you're making it sound like this salty thing when it's just a very nice thing to say. But thank you so much, Sharif. Let's look at Reddit though, because Reddit was on my radar. I did do a thing, once I have a phone that has a microphone that works, I'm gonna start doing this, and I'm gonna call it on my Instagram, Tea and Trades, or Trading Tea, where I just, before the midday or before How to Trade, talk about, drink my tea and talk about some trades. And I did film one for Reddit, and then my microphone didn't work, so we couldn't post it. But I do like this. Let's see what we do here as if we make a higher high at this 50-40. I like this bounce off of this 48-20 area. Look, we can't break below it. We see these wicks, these failed wicks here. We push above. And I filmed that video before we got back up here and tested it. So I should have been looking at this. My bad. Woulda, coulda, shoulda. We're going to keep an eye, though, because look at this area earlier. We have these failed wicks below it. Then we can't really get back to that 48-20 in a way that holds. Spread is 3 pennies. As someone who will sometimes trade the 20-penny spread on Eli Lilly, I cannot complain about this Reddit spread. So it's a nice look. Not too much of a spread it there. Also, let's look at Tesla, because I am involved in a short here. We are taking this to that 169 area. So this is just a very scalpy type trade. I am not saving a piece for the dream because Tesla, it's hard to sleep. You have to sleep with one eye open in Tesla. You don't really have time to dream. So there we go. I would love for us to get to that 169 area. We seem to be very skittish. We've had a couple touches of it, and then we've said no. So if we're gonna give this like 20 pennies. If we break above 169.50 area, I'm gonna get out. I know we just said, NVIDIA, you wanna give that a little bit more wiggle room, same with the Tesla. But if I'm gonna scalp a Tesla, I can't plan on scalping 30 pennies and then give it like $1 to run. Sure. Do you know what I mean? The risk to reward on that is negligible, to use a Sharifism. So that's what I will be trying to take a look at here on Tesla. How are you doing in the lake, the LAC?
Not bad. We're at 95s. We're having trouble breaking through 97s, I guess, because maybe we have like these downward trends over here with sequentially lower highs. We had 710, then 705. Now we're getting like a little bit below 7. What's going on over there, Katina, man? Reddit is $5 in the money on the Katina Man screen, so that's a big boy trade as it got into 51s. Keep your eye on the IB high there at 51. That is how high we printed today. We could have resistance at that $51 area, but this is an IPO, baby, so anything could happen. Forget about these levels. Just wanted to point out at 9:35, we wicked off 51, and then that precipitated about a $4.50 move into $5.50 move into 45.50. And now we've recovered that entire move, but now $1 off the top there as we come back into 50 off that 51 level. So keep your eye on 51. If it breaks, this could be one hell of a trade. Now, LAC looks like it is going to print lower highs at the moment, but if it comes back into my level, I'll just end it there. We're still in the money on it. Keeping eyes on Apple, we're also 16 pennies off the high a day on Apple, 172.56. I'm sorry about these wicks. I'll fix them in a minute. But yeah, that's just kind of normal stuff around here. 172.56 HOD. Now we're at 172.46, so 10 pennies off high a day on Apple. Keep your eye on possible resistance there as well, as we did make it up there twice prior. The first at around 9:05 a.m., the second time at around 10:40, and this is going to be a third time. Will this be a charm? Can we break that high a day? We're now above the 200 period moving average on the 5-minute on AAPL, like we were talking about. We said the 200 was acting as a level of resistance on the day owing to these two rejections here. But there you go. We get the first 5-minute candle to close above the 200 on AAPL. So let's see what it does at the $0.50. Maybe this one can continue north. 3 different
analyst agencies reiterating their outperform or their buy rating on Apple today. Chief among them, JP Morgan. Then you had Bernstein chiming in as well. And then there's one other, I don't remember who.
TD Cowen.
TD Cowen, thank you, with that upgrade. And basically, you know, given the you know what to the DOJ, I guess, there. So we'll have to wait and see how Merrick Garland and his boys react to that. So, yeah, Apple into 172.50, keeping eyes on this one. This could be an interesting trade back into a key level. We'll see. Or a rejection off this level. Who knows?
Yeah, I have decided to start doing something in Tesla here. I don't know what we're, to quote Michael Jackson, I want to be starting something. I'm not really sure what we've started or how it will end. But basically what I'm trying to do is I noticed this range got tighter. I'm aware that we can break above here. And as I speak, we do kind of, I think we might have been breaking out here of this. Well, let's see what we do at 169.60s. But basically, I've been trying to scalp smaller movements. And as we get filled, we add a little bit here, right? So this is, I guess, a bit scalpier, inspired by Sean, who is always, king scalper there, killing it with those scalps. I really want to try to be a little bit scalpier. This is a type of trade I like. And this range is really tight. So, talk about micro scalping here. But as we get a little bit higher lows, I think I'm going to take everything out at 21s if I can. So not a massive trade by any means, but really just trying to take advantage of these opportunities. As Neil says a lot, as he said a couple times in his lessons of the day this week, shout out to Neil. Hope he is enjoying the baseball in Florida. He was really saying that, sometimes you have to be willing to adapt. If you're in a trade, what is the plan? And if your plan doesn't work, how do you change your plan? We're still valid in this trade. We haven't broken up with any kind of insane swiftness or viciousness, to use some words I use sometimes. And as I say that, Tesla's like, oh, you think I haven't broken out? But so yeah, we might get kicked out of this. Every time we try to hit that 60s, that we curl back down. So I'm watching you, Tesla. I am watching you, Tesla. I'm watching you. Like I said, one eye open. We don't have dreams when you're involved in Tesla. You have no time. You're so worried that you will be getting extricated from the Cybertruck and thrown it onto the highway. So let's see how this goes in T to the S to the L to the A. Microsoft, Softy was playing hardball with me earlier today. We were always in the wrong direction on this, except for that one nice little short we had. But if we keep projecting off this 9 EMA, I might see some shorts in my future.
I like it.
So let's keep an eye on that. Not short weather in Toronto right now because it's chilly willy, but definitely short weather in potentially in Microsoft and in Apple for you.
Yes. We trade our book, Adara. It doesn't matter whether it's against us or for us. Short AAPL into resistance. Stop is a break a high a day. That simple. We'll look to wet our beak possibly at that 172 area if we make it back into the whole dollar area on AAPL. Strong level here, but I'm seeing a bit of a topping tail candle come in on the future. Sorry, let me just adjust my screen here. I forgot to put the chat on all screens. There we go. So we'll look to see if we can make it down into that whole dollar level on AAPL or thereabouts. If not, stop is going to be break a high a day. That's already in, so we'll let that one run. What else we got? We got NVIDIA at resistance level 2. This thing is a monster, bro. Yeah. 937.06 HOD. It's coming into that blue dotted line. The blue dotted line is the second resistance level for your pivots. So the first one is the teal. Trust the teal, Max says, baby. And so that is the level we're looking at right now. Are we above all the local levels? I believe we are. Let's go into the hourly and figure out where we could encounter resistance on NVDA. Well, this is an interesting area right over here. Look at this topping tail candle over here. This was at 8 a.m., so that looks like maybe an institutional print, but we are looking at the hourly, so that could include the 8:30 release of the financial numbers or economic data. So I'm looking at that 940, 938 as a level of resistance on NVIDIA. On the hourly, obviously this area over here, that 958 as well as that 975 are also areas, but we really have to get parabolic to see that today. So we'll keep eyes on, what's it called? NVIDIA. All right, wet my beak here on some profits on AAPL as we continue to head down. Let's flip back to LAC. Okay, so now we're knocking on the door of my out here on LAC. Shout out to the Chilean Nightmare for pointing this one out to me. I'm sitting at 98s. I'm getting 98 on the ask. It's got to cross. It's got to go to the bid for me to get filled, and we're not getting filled now. as now we move back into 97. So we need about a penny or so more to get filled on that LAC trade. We're looking for a 7 break on Lithium America. There is an LAAC headline, upgrade by Scotiabank, which is a Canadian bank, but that has precipitated some strength into LAC. So do with that what you will. What else am I looking at over here? Let me look at what people are talking about in the chat. I saw some tags earlier. Shout out to you, Jay Lee. Thoughts on shorting AVGO? It's too high, in my humble opinion. Expecting a $20 or $50 pullback. Jay, you probably are not wrong on this. I mean, I feel like all the microchips are extended at this point, but the market doesn't care what I think. All it knows is that this AI headline keeps pumping here. So what are your levels? You're talking about, it's too high right now. So 134.75 is HOD on AVGO. Let's put in the ticker. And let's talk a little bit about this. So very much an inside day so far, Jay, right? Like, I mean, look at that big move up yesterday on AVGO. We get off the schneid there, as my friend Neil likes to say, at 113.10. We make it up to 14, almost 05. So almost a $100 move on AVGO yesterday, so I can see why you'd feel that way. Today, though, like I was saying, an inside day, but look at this, Jay. Higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, with higher highs. So I wouldn't want to, even though there's not parabolic strength in this today, it's up almost 1 2/3, and it's putting in a series of higher lows. So I don't want to stand in front of this monster. I'm just going to let it be. All right, let's see here quickly. All right, should we get filled here on LAC? There's obviously a hidden seller at 98. This is so annoying. All right, Apple right back into my level at 136, but we already wet our beak. If this one makes a new high, I'll get out of that. Chill vibes. NVIDIA, 940 soon. I agree with you, my man. We just looked at that level on the wider time frame. It looks like that 940 area could be a key level of resistance. That takes us back a few days. Dan the Man Emmons. NQ closed cash gap. I don't know what cash gap means, Dan. But the Dow and the ES and the Russell did not. Index divergence, MSFT pulling ES down. Yeah, well, we can see that. Adara is looking at that as well. Along with Visa, MasterCard, JP Morgan, and Bank of America. Thank you, Dan, for that very insightful comment. I do appreciate that. Just tell me what cash gap means, though, because I don't know what that is. Casual Soze, what are your thoughts on coin? Next earnings is along a good look. We'll have a look at coin in just 1 second here. I just want to see if I got filled. Of course, I didn't get filled on Lithium America. Let's look at coin. Sorry, Adara, to be a little bit long-winded here.
No worries.
If you
There's
have
a lot of
anything
stuff to look
important,
at.
yeah, just
I have
interrupt
nothing
me.
important to look at.
Okay.
Microsoft is taking its time.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, that's
no,
it.
it's okay. We're going to throw the daily up here on coin, and I'm going to get rid of all these trend lines so that we can see a clean look on Coinbase. Derek, when is coin reporting? Is there?
I have not heard.
Yeah, let me look. I got it.
It is going to be May 2nd, 2024.
Thank you. Okay, so then we have some time with that. All right, so casual Soze, we got some time here. Coinbase, though. All right. I mean, do you really want me to give you an analysis into earnings when the earnings are so far away? Look, 275 essentially is it's not all-time high. There's the resistance level locally here on Coinbase, but looking above that level, it takes us to these two crests over here. That takes us all the way back to July and September of 2021. We have a 294 top there in July, and then in September we have a 288 top. So those are areas that you could earmark to see if we get into those areas, whether we encounter resistance. To me, though, I don't think those areas are going to be as important as that $300 level, especially with how close we've gotten to it, about 25 bucks off that level. So that's what I'd be looking at. I'd be looking, the next key level for me is going to be that $100 level at 300. Let me know exactly how that goes, and we'll talk more about Coinbase, obviously, as we get closer to earnings. Nothing yet on Lithium America, but Apple still coming down off those levels. But look, even though Apple what are we, like 15 pennies in the money on Apple, nothing really to celebrate, we're still putting in higher lows. And we're also above that 10 EMA. So nothing to celebrate here on Apple, especially if we continue to hold above the 10-period exponential moving average. We'll have to keep eyes on that because it's higher highs and higher lows for AAPL in the day.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, AAPL does. I think it's an interesting look there. Congrats on those little beak wetters, dipping our beaks into the Friday. Also, not a duck, but a turtle here. Shout out to Trend Ticker, the trading turtle, our little friend here. And also shout out to anyone who got that Tesla long. I'm seeing a lot of chat about that in the chat. I have to say I was short this, but I am so proud. I'm pleased this punch I left where I did. We broke kind of out of this little area. We broke above the 90 MA. I ran out of that Cybertruck, and we did get a little bit of profit here, so no complaints. All you can do is learn and move on to the next trade. Let's see, though, what happens here with Tesla. If we hold this 170, I might take this long to ones. You know what? We got a scared trader is a deficient trader.
I like it.
I like this. If we break below the area around where I exited, so around like 179, 169, like 70, 169, 60, we shall be exiting this Cybertruck once again. But I feel nice about this long. I don't know why nice is the word I used. I feel like this long looks nice, and I feel good about it. There you go.
Nice.
Words, and then as I say that, Tesla's like, levels, and then fell below. But that's okay. Tesla does that. It's a bamboozler, to use a Sharifism. But yeah, this is nice. I also like this IWM trade. I'm trying to take this. Again, not trying to do this purely on a dip by chart perspective. We're holding this 206 beautifully on the book, like just chef's kiss, beautifully. So I'm gonna keep building this position. We're gonna actually add a little bit here. And then as long as we hold up above 205.90, 205.90, I'm gonna stay in this. Trying to take some profit here as we get to 206.19. I talk about this ad nauseum, but I have a whole thing where when we get to previous areas of resistance, I will always take out some profit. I will always dip the beak there just to go stick your toe in. So we have three little pieces of the puzzle here in IWM as we dip lower. IWM, please stay above 205.90, just asking for a friend. We're gonna see how that goes. Tesla trying to make me question myself a little bit, but yeah, we're gonna stay in that Questla for now in Tesla. IWM, I'm not adding any more to this. Let's see how this shakes out. Honestly, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, as Wayne Gretzky says. So sometimes you see something, you have to try it, it doesn't work. You have to be prepared to take the L and move on. But as 21 Savage says, we are trying to, take less L's and make more M's.
Boom.
So that's what really matters here. And IWM is probably going to be a bit of an L, as will maybe Tesla. But that just means the only way to go is up. There you go. Go Apple, though. Damp it.
Nice. All right. We just took 30 pennies there on Apple, and I'm pleased. I want to mention why we're precipitating a downward move here on some of these NQ names, and that's because we got into yesterday's closing print on the NQ. Guys, chart these closing prints. It takes all of 1 second. Look how many times we've rejected off this print today. That's the white horizontal line, 18.562. It takes 1 second to draw this out. On my platform, I don't know if you guys can see this. Let me see if you guys can see it. Yeah, they can't really see it. Right here, there's a dotted line. It kind of imprints itself on all my charts because I've selected it that way. And that dotted line will show me the previous day's closing print. So it's kind of hard to see, so I always put this white line overlay on it. And look at that, rejection right here at 10.05 on that level. Yet another, thanks for Chile Nightmare. Let me remove it so you guys can see that. See how it's a dotted line right there? And yeah, Fabian's going real deep, man. Okay, Fabian. Thanks, bro. I appreciate that. Oh, it's Ram. It's Ram. She's trolling me.
It's more like a Ram thing.
Yeah, it does seem like a Ram thing to do. I'm sitting there calling out Fabian. He's like, what? I'm just doing my thing, bro. But no, in all seriousness, chart the closing print, guys. It helps to know exactly where we are. On the day, are we above, below? I know you can look at that by the percentage, but reflecting it on the chart, it looks a little bit better. So anyway, that's caused a little bit of a down move in some of these names here. NVIDIA included, about $2 off the top, but that's a joke because it's up $23 on the day. So what's a couple of bucks here and there? But the softy, like Dan the Man Emmons said, it's really moving counter cyclically with the indexes today. Down and to the right goes softy, lower highs, lower lows. Any move in subsequent to 10.05 off the 20 period has been sold off. Everything. So the more aggressive pullbacks, and perfect way to phrase that,
on pullback week. The more aggressive pullbacks are moving into the 20 period, which is the yellow line on my chart. The more shallow pullbacks are all being rejected at the 10 period. And so hence why you have these. We want to see what the instrument is jiving with on that day. One day it's flirting with VWAP. The next day it's serenading the 50 period. And then the subsequent day after that, it's having an affair with the 10 EMA. So you never know who is going to be in the sites on the day, and that's why you put all the technical indicators on there to see what's jiving. And Microsoft today, it's either the 10 or the 20, but I feel like we've been saying that a lot lately with some of these retracements. Anyway, fantastic look here. Oh, and I did wet my beak, it looks like. Shout out to the Chilean Nightmare for giving me this LAC trade, because we were long on that one. We took nice about 15 penny winner on LAC into that 7, but it's continuing to go, baby. Keep your eye on 710. That's HOD on LAC.
I like that, HOD on LAC.
There it is.
Also, Tesla, what are you doing, bro? What a way to start this. I apologize, but honestly, like, serious question, because we're holding this 90 EMA really well, I must say. We dip below and we bounce off that 169.60 beautifully. So I said, you know what, we are staying on the Cybertruck for the time being. I added here because of where we held. I do think though we could go either way at this point. I think, you know, we either stay in the Cybertruck to the upside or it, you know, goes falling off the highway. So hopefully, or you know, it just kind of is like, right now it's just slightly off-putting, like that door gap you were showing yesterday, where that gap was slightly off on that Cybertruck that I know really upset you. But yeah, it was a weird look. Yeah, the way that the door was on that Cybertruck. But anyways, let's see if the door in this Cybertruck stays open for me for a long. And also, you know, if a Cybertruck would ever open his door for Sharif, he would greatly appreciate it. So shout out to the Cybertruck for that. But yeah, I like the idea here. I don't mind my cost basis here just below 170s. Happy I didn't get in any earlier. We're going to have to see, though, if this ended up just being buying into a falling knife, because that's what's going to happen. But you don't know unless you try, and you don't know unless the market tells you what's happening. Let's look at Reddit, because I'm still fascinated by the idea of something in Reddit. You know, there's also Microsoft. Okay, we're going to deal with Microsoft later, because that one is bamboozlement central. But also, could this be a dip buy on Reddit? We're holding that 50 really well. Oh, I want to wait for one more candle, because the bamboozlement of that big bearish candle has me going, But if we have another nice candle here, this could be an opportunity. Also, the first thing that I thought when you showed that QQQ chart or that NQ chart was sort of rangy. So I'm going to look at this here too. Look at this. We have like this kind of base of 444. Yeah, 444.60. We come up into 445.90. So that's like quite the range. This is a $1 plus range, but there's all these little baby ranges as well, right? So again, it's a little bit harder. I always have to remember, Adara, it's a little bit harder to trade the Qs in a range, because they're the Qs. They're going to do what they want to do. But I still think it's something I want to keep an eye on, because we do have these very clear levels, I think, on the
Can
Qs.
I make a suggestion? Do you know about the TQs and the SQs?
Yeah, the levered ones, right?
Yeah.
I should look at those.
I know that they're levered, but because they're smaller in value, like the dollar amounts, the moves are not as aggressive. So say if you're taking a $400 name, just even if you got 10 shares, it's going to move aggressively. It's gonna, you know what I mean? So I don't know if that's something you want to explore. It's a bit cheaper, but it is levered. So I don't know. You have a look at it, see if it's something that interests you. And then you make your own decision, obviously. I want to mention Chill Vibes here, if I can.
Please do.
Thank you, Chill Vibes, for pointing out. Very good look here. He's taken a very strong name. I'm talking to Chill Vibes in the chat. And wanting to look for a pullback trade on a strong name. I love that, dude. That is my mentality, and I like to trade that way, so I'm jiving with you on this. This is what he's looking at for here. He's looking at Google, and he was saying to me in the chat, look, 150.50 looks like a hell of a long. And I would agree with you on that 99% of the time. The only issue is we already have a defined low over here. Right? And that defined low is hanging out. Well, the bottom wick is at 59. The top is the closing print is at 67. So for us to come into 50, fine, fair. I'm not saying we're going to tank if we come into 50, but it will make a lower low. Now, the other side to that coin is it's coming into VWAP. So who cares if it's a lower low? It ends up holding the volume weighted average price. And we know from the NOS boss and from other people that institutional money often uses a volume weighted average price to gauge the success or lack thereof of their traders on the day. Go buy me 10,000 shares of Google, and then I'll judge you with how well you did on the day versus where it is relative to the volume weighted average price. And so, oftentimes we keep seeing these bounces off VWAP, and that's not by accident. We know there's retail traders looking at this. We know the institutional traders are looking at this as well. So, it makes sense. So if we look here at VWAP, I'm going to be staring at it, Chill Vibes. If it comes into 150.50, I'm not saying just because it makes a lower low, I won't get into it. I absolutely love this idea, and if it holds up at the volume weighted average price, we're going to look to punch in to that. So shout out to you, and thank you for pointing that out to me, because I didn't have eyes on that. Now, the other thing, NVDA, I won't be trading NVDA because I don't want to get shut down, but I'll be trading NVDL if there is a trade to be had. Now, keep a look at this. There's one time since the opening bell that the price action has broken the 10-period moving average once, and that was over here on the 5-minute chart, okay? And that was at 10:40, and it stayed above the volume-weighted average price. Well, we're right back at that 10-period. Again, the 10-period is a solid green line on my charts. Now we're doing the dance with no pants here at the 10-period moving average, which is, give or take, at $934. So do we hold this level? And if we do we get in here with a tight stop, or do we wait for a 5-minute candle to make a new high to show that the trend is changing, that curl is starting to take effect? So eyes on NVDA. I'll be looking to trade NVDL for this name, but it'll have to hold above the 10 EMA. I don't know if you've had eyes on this, and I just wanted to point it out to you. But somebody, I don't know, somebody's range in here. Somebody's range in here, and it goes by the ticker of META.
I have had eyes on that. I've said this before. My one thing with Mr. Meta is I find it very hard to get in and out of because of the spread. We're about a 10-penny spread. Although, believe me, Sharif, I saw that and I went,
I feel you.
And I remember it was Meta and I went, So, bit of a mixed reaction there. Also, the other thing about this range, if I may, is that we're kind of compressed a little bit, right? So we're starting to have higher highs and higher lows, lower highs. So for me, it always makes it a little bit hard to enter. That being said, my general opinion on this would be if I did enter now, we're down on the day, I'd short it, and I'd take, you know what, I'm going to stop talking. Let's do it. Let's dance with danger. And I do think Meta is dangerous because that spread is not my bestie. If we break above decisively with this 506.20 area here, I'm going to have to be out. We're going to be taking that shares and leaving post-haste. We did get out of Tesla because there were issues there. We entered the Microsoft short, and this might be an example. We might have in the wild example of a fake out breakout. So we're going to watch and see what we do here. If we break decisively with a viciousness above 427, I'm outie. I got involved here because I liked these kind of lower highs, lower lows. We were rejecting this area nicely. I was like, oh, you have your opportunity for the short. And now Microsoft is trying to be bamboozling. You need to wait. And a lot of the charts that I found as well to put in the presentation were examples of a fake out breakout, but the fake out didn't make a higher high in a bearish trend, or it didn't make a lower low in a bullish trend, right? So you kind of want to make sure what we do here. If we hold up this area, okay, we're gonna be taking it to this 426.20 area. I have no idea what we'll do here though. Meta, my girl Meta, we got involved. It's already a little bamboozling. Let's try to get out around 40s. We'll take about 40 pennies on this. Let's do 42. So there we go. We're gonna see what happens. Let's give it 506 like 40. Let's see for a higher high. What's gonna happen here? Microsoft, what are you doing, girl? This one has been remarkably hard to read. However, we're still below 426.90s. I like how well we're holding this level. This is also one of those levels I drew earlier. I've been talking about these. They're not fibs. They're just my Adara lines that don't really have a name yet. They're my micro ranges, and they're levels that I like to watch that are showing up on the chart in different ways. So in this case, look at this level. This level became support earlier, then it became resistance. So to me, that's a level. And they're hyper-specific. They're really only based on price action and prices where we kind of had a little bit of breathing room on the chart for whatever reason. So we're going to be getting out of here. Let's aim for 526.40s and then, 426.40s and then 426.20s for this. So let's do it. As Nike says, just do it. And actually should keep an eye on Nike because someone reported earnings today. I don't know who. It was Nike. But let's take a look at that in a moment. I'm just going to get these little beak wetters, toe dippers prepared and ready for action, ready for battle. Let's see what happens here. Let's also, though, look at N to the K to the E. Because I'm going to look for other opportunities to trade here as well. Nike, stutter step to the upside. Really, I know, shout out to Sean shorting this into 92s earlier. Great look. Now kind of stutter step into the upside. This Nike always has a great spread. It's always like 1 or 2 penny spread. I might have to keep an eye on this. Also, I'm going to keep an eye on what we do here because look at that chop and turn earlier and then a massive fall. If we reject at 93.50s, could be a little bit of spicy. We could be running to the downside in our Nike shoes. Down.
Long NVDL, looking for continuation on this name, looking to take some profits. People are getting upset that I'm wetting my beak, and it's not a Canadian expression, guys. It's from The Godfather, which is an American movie, so. You know, you're wrong on that.
About Italian Americans too.
Yeah,
so it's
exactly.
Very cultural.
Exactly. Like I don't know if it has any Italian ancestry. We'll have to ask BPI when he comes back. But BPI is Big Patty Ice, not an economic indicator. Calm down, Ram. She's always trolling me from the back. I love it. Guys, I set up a dip trade at VWAP on Google. It keeps moving up a little bit, though, the volume weighted average price, obviously, because it's a static it's a static indicator. I've got my dip trade hanging out at 55, so it looks like we're finding a little bit of support right now at in the 70s. So I may not get filled on this. Okay, well, we just wet our beak right now on NVDL, so pumped. We're printing on this one. Let's see if we can make it back up into higher days. Adara, that's hanging out at 45.20-ish or thereabout. NVIDIA's pumping back up, coming back into 438s. The future is coming right back into yesterday's closing print, 18,561, so it's on its way up. And, you know, everything really is curling here. Even the dead one, Softy, is moving off that 426 low, now broke through 427. So pleased with these trades, but, you know, could always be better. Let's see if NVDL will pump back up. We'll keep eyes on it. Let's see what's being chatted about here in the chat. John, take it easy there, bro. Streamlabs is gonna block that comment, John. You know that. Check out guys for Lulu to breakout. Says down to Sky. We'll look at Lulu in a sec. Obviously, they reported earnings. We've been covering that all day. Kanye East. LOL. Love Sharif's commentary when he's replying to people's comments. I just like to, you know.
You add a little bit of spice. I like it.
Yeah, why not, right? Alan San Sebastian. AAPL looks like it wants to break higher. Yeah, man, it looks really good today. I got to tell you the truth. Forget about the Department of Justice. Merrick Garland who? We don't know anybody by that name. Well, I don't. I know the guy. Anyway, 172.61. We just printed high days. Yeah, you're bang on. I mean, this one's been... And it hasn't really been that choppy. Again, it's kind of been holding above the 20 period. I mentioned this earlier, the entire day, saving except for a couple of outlying events. Ever since the 10 crossed the 20 to the north side, we haven't touched the 20 quite yet. Even the wicks that break the 10. The 10 is the green, the yellow is the 20. Even the wicks that break the 10, they don't make their way down into the 20. But look at this, Alan, is that, you know, yes, we made a new HOD, but like by how much, right? That's the thing. So this one could be a flat top breakout, except it's Apple, right? And we probably won't get a parabolic move to the north side because, well, there's just so many headwinds for this company. Slower sales, China, what's it called? The Department of Justice. So, you know, we're going to have to take incremental, you know, progressive gains. I don't see Apple going parabolic in the way that Tesla could or the way that NVIDIA does. So we'll see. There goes NVDL. Guys, the position board isn't working. And I don't know why my position is not showing. I'm long 44.89 on NVDL, and we're about to hit 20s here. So let's put in our out at 20s because and there it is, baby. It looks like we're going to get the print, and we do get the print. Pleased as dang punch on this trade on NVDL. We take that big move up on NVIDIA, but we play it through NVDL, obviously. So that's all we've got that's all we've got in the clip here. So we'll have to look to get into another trade. Now let's quickly look at GOOGL because I've been waiting for this one to come into the volume weighted average price, and now it is inching its way down, maybe below 70. My only concern with Google here is that the moving averages are starting to point downward. So obviously, you know, if you want something to come back into your level, it's obviously got to pull back. But I'm not sure if I like this aggressive point down, especially if the 10 ends up crossing the 20 here. Well, I'll have to wait and see. I might have a tight stop below this level. So We'll keep looking. Google's strong on the day, but it may not hold that VWAP, so we'll have to keep eyes on it. All right, what else we got? What else you got over there? What are you doing over there?
Honestly, I am being bamboozled. I wish I had a more fun answer than that.
Why?
It's been no, I'm just joking. It's just this market is like, whew. I appreciate the support though. It's just, yeah, I mean, I feel like the trades are of iffy quality. The one I feel really nice though is if we could get involved in the Cybertruck here. Look at this curl up. We're gonna miss our opportunity. Yeah, there we go. We're not gonna get filled in this. But I like that I got involved in the long. The timing was bad. Then we kind of chop and churn. We wait here. We're bobbing up and down here 169.50. Now we're continuing to the upside. So that's the dip I'm trying to buy right now. Meta, I had to get out of Microsoft because we broke way above my point of entry. Meta more or less at my point of entry. So I'm gonna stay in here. I have no reason to leave. We made a lower high, so all good for me. But if we could get to 505.40s Meta, I'd be so happy. Thank you, Zuckerberg in advance for doing that. Also, shout out, congrats to your NVIDIA trade. That's also for NVDL. And also shout out to Ramin with the real chips here. We have chips and we have chips.
Oh yeah, that's how it's gonna work, eh?
Do you want one?
She gets chips and I don't get chips? Okay.
Do you want a chip?
I make her protein snacks, which she leaves in the fridge for 2 days in a row, and I don't even get offered a measly chip. That's how it is, Ram. Okay.
Do you want a chip?
No, I don't. I want Ram to bring me a chip. No, I'm kidding. I'm not being a diva,
I know,
guys. I'm playing, guys. No, Ram, stay back there. There's nobody to change the screens. The Chilean Nightmare. I love you. I'm actually playing. I'm wearing my stuff. Shout out to Ram.
Yeah, we love Ramin and Fabian and everybody over here, everyone in the chat as well. Always a great community. Yeah, Tesla, if I could get filled, I would be really happy. So I mentioned this in stat as well. I am trying to curb my setup issues because I know I'm not always great at my points of entry, and that's what I've said was one of the major things that makes me a little bit nervous to go live, although the goal is to go live. I've said that very soon, so we'll have to see how this goes. Yeah, I think we might get filled in Tesla here, so let's see. I think I should still have... Yeah, I still do have an entry point there, waiting at the ready. I don't know if there's some... Oh, there we go. We did get filled Tesla, and now it's breaking down. Thank you, Cybertruck, for that. But Meta's breaking down too, and I'm in that short, so that's nice. I'm in 3 trades right now, which for me is heart attack inducing, but just trying to learn a little bit every single day, and we are ready for Reddit. I did get back involved. Shout out to someone in the chat mentioning this one to me, and I wanted to take a look at... They're saying it came to the level you liked, and it did, and so I entered... Yeah, thank you to whoever said that. I apologize, I don't remember who that was. But where are we from my point of entry? We're like a couple pennies away from my point of entry here. Oh, there we go. Yeah, 3 trades. 3 trades here. Tesla almost at my point of entry. Meta basically at my point of entry. And Reddit also basically at my point of entry. So none of these super exciting. If we break below this 48.80 area, we're getting out of Reddit because I love this area for all that chop and churn earlier. That's where I will be waiting for. And let's see how we go. Yeah, let's see how we go here. Also, AMD. What are you gonna give me, AM Dizzle? AMD, if you will. Yeah, I want to wait and see what we do here because I think there is some kind of chop and churn. I just can't really read it yet. Someone earlier said the markets are all chopped today. I would fully agree. They've certainly been a little bamboozling, but that just means you have to work on being sharper and being ready for every opportunity the markets give you. Is there anything you're looking at right now?
I'm keeping eyes on GOOGL because it's coming into that key level at VWAP that I've been talking about for a while. So I'm going to let this trigger, even though big Kyle Burdett now has graced us with his presence in the chat. He says SPY shorts on. So, if the shorts are on, maybe it's not a good idea to get into Google here. But look, I see you, Big Kyle. We're doing the wick shimmy dance into yesterday's closing print on the NQ. So I get you. I get what you're seeing. How many times are we going to come into this level and reject, right? So it's been 10 a.m. We had attempts. We rejected. Another attempt at 11:30, we rejected. But the thing is, this last attempt, look at the retracement. The retracement held up at the volume weighted average price. So it's not just about holding up at VWAP, but it's the higher low here, right? We didn't make it back down to 18.5 to do the north to south wick shimmy dance. No, we held up at VWAP. That's a higher low, and so we could be accumulating here for that flat top break through yesterday's close. If that's the case, then the future is not a short. I know you're talking about SPY, but nary do they move differently. So let's keep an eye on the future as we come right back in that HOD level yet, and it's not technically HOD because the overnight high is 1607, but it's an after the bell high. The after the bell high is 18,564 on the NQ June contract. 564? 565, correction. We're at 560, so again, into that key area of resistance. Let's see if we break it this time. I think that we probably do, just owing to that higher low on the future. We'll see. Google not coming quite into my dip trade yet. I know the position board wasn't working. It should be working now. Adair's positions are showing. Again, I'm waiting at 55s. We'll see if we get that 55 print, and if it is, we're going to give it a tight stop, especially if the future rejects off that HOD. So keep an eye on this. This is a trade, and you'll see the aqua line. That is my dip trade there. Big Kyle says, you say flat top break, I say filled retake incoming. It's very possible, Kyle. I mean, like, you know, but your look is accurate. My look is accurate with the higher low. We're going to have to wait to see how this manifests, right? I mean, Jay Lee, Adira, Sharif, can Ram bring the can?
The can?
The can, because she had a can of chips. All right, you're killing me, Jay. All right, bro.
I don't know why I missed that. Yeah, she did have the can.
Big Kyle. Shout out to you. I didn't even know that your brother had a farm. Kyle, where are you living at? You don't have to tell me the city or anything, but what state you living in? Sounds like you might be in the Midwest there. So let me know where you're at. I know D. Westermeyer's in the Midwest. Remember he came to visit us, and then he had that big drive back. He took Neil and Sean and the Brendo out for Din Din. They had a great time. Shout out to D. Westermeyer, obviously. Matthew Cabral. Love everything you do, brother. Thank you. No, thank you, my man. Thank you for joining Adira and I today. We always love having you guys, and we're about to restart that lesson because it is now the noon hour.
I can't believe it's already 12.
Can you believe it? Oh. That was a quick one. So it looks like I got it out of my NVDL too quick here, as it did break up another 20 pennies from where I got out. So we got long 44.80. 89, and then it made its way all the way up to 45.40, looking to hold up at 45.20 right now. It's a fantastic look right now in on NVDL and NVDA. Big Kyle. I'm not going to read that out, but yeah, he's in Pennsylvania. So you're not that far from us, because Pennsylvania is just like a throw stone away. I think Pittsburgh is like a 5-6 hour drive, right? Yeah, it's like a 5-6 hour drive, because we were going to go watch the Steelers and Ravens, which is a great division game there. And yeah, we didn't end up doing it because the snowstorm hit, so the tickets, we got shafted. We had to pay. Yeah, that's okay.
Baltimore Ravens, right? Mm-hmm. I know a little bit. I know a little bit about the NFL. Okay, I'm looking to flex the one team name I know. So I know, is Raheem Alani not a Baltimore Ravens fan? Because I remember hearing about that.
Is he?
Maybe I'm wrong.
He is? Katina man? Yeah, he is.
Because I remember, because you're a Packers fan, Sean, I believe. And so I remember there was like a little bit of a kerfuffle I overheard about that.
Well, it's the Cowboys and the Packers that are beef. The Packers and the Ravens don't have beef, because one's NFC, one's AFC, right?
Oh,
yeah. So it's like different conferences. So the NFL was the amalgamation of two different leagues. There was, I forget, the American Football League and then the National Football League that ended up combining. And so they ended up making them into different conferences, but they're part of the same league now. All right, here we go. We're going to get filled on Google, it looks like, Adira, as Google coming into the volume-weighted average price. We're going to have to see here, number one, do we get filled? And number two, does it hold up at VWAP? I don't want any smoke from Google if it doesn't hold at the volume-weighted average price here. This is the trade. Yeah, this is the trade, literally. So we're already 3 pennies out of the money. So it's not holding up at VWAP here, so I'm going to have to send it to you to put a stop.
Yeah, I mean, someone in the chat said, yeah, I think this is the first time I've seen you trade 4 stocks. I think I'm in 3 right now, but I am in 3 right now. Shout out to Brad Gober. Thank you so much for mentioning this range on Boeing. I'm not going to say anything. This is my type of trade. I love this. I'm so happy with this. I got involved initially at 190.70. We only got part filled. That was okay, because then I could get a better entry point at the bottom here with the rest of my shares. The initial goal was the 190.60 entry. If we break below this 190.40 area, I am outie. I will be leaving the door there. Also, Tesla. What are you doing, Tesla? Tesla is trying to shake me out here a little bit. We're going to have to be exiting the Cybertruck with the businesses. How many shares do I have here before I punch out? There we go. So yeah, let's see how that goes. Honestly, not super happy with a lot of these trades today, but that means the only way I can go is up. And I have to say, I'm very proud of this Reddit trade. I'm very happy with this Reddit trade. So let's you know, I think I might actually get out of some of this earlier than I wanted to. I was going to try to go for 50. Now it looks like there might be some issues here at 80s. And shout out, again, I forget who said this in the chat, but someone in the chat was like, this was the level you were mentioning earlier in Reddit. We just got to it. And I said, oh, we did. So I got involved. We still part of the position in here. So let's see how we go here with Reddit. Boeing, we're about 10 pennies away from that point that I would have to say sayonara and leave the plane post haste. Yeah, Reddit, I think for my second point of entry or second point of exit, let's go. You know, we're going to go about 50-20, I think, for this one. But if there's any more dip opportunities once I'm out of the trade, I will get in. It looks like a nice dip might be off this 9 EMA. So yeah, pretty happy with this trade and definitely happy I waited for the levels. And again, thank you so much to everyone in the community who's listening and shouting us out when things come into levels or when things get interesting, because you can't have your eye on every stock at all times. And so that's why it's nice when you have a whole bunch of eyes there, you know, with you and being like, hey, look at these levels, right? So what a fun opportunity. I am not trading live, Air Trader. I am, though, interested in going live next week. And I mentioned that. So we're going to have to see. Today is in so far in terms of the P&L, but I just want to, you know, learn and take new opportunities. Also, I made the labels for the images more clear in the presentation.
You so much.
I apologize for that.
Completely do that. I was supposed to do that. I forgot. All right, let's talk about the lesson. We're talking about being aware of fakeouts. We've been talking about pullbacks all week. And so we're going to try to distinguish today, or try to talk about techniques to distinguish between a pullback and a fakeout and an entire reversal, because that's where we don't want to get caught, right? So pullback trades offer great entry points, but there's a sneaky villain lurking, believe it or not, the fakeout, they call it. Let's learn how to identify and defend against these deceptive price movements. So understanding fakeouts. So a fakeout essentially is a pullback that tricks you into thinking that the trend is changing. It's not actually. Only to reverse course and continue in the original direction. So an example of a bearish pullback, this is exactly it right here. Okay, so we're making lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, then, and we're also holding true to that downward trend line. Then you get a decided break, right, of that trend, and we start making a bigger move up. Now, one thing I would say about this chart over here is that, yes, this is a false breakout. One way you could look at trying to get around this is the presence or the making of a higher high. So if this was your trough, right, this was your crest right here, because it's a V shape, so you can automatically label it as a crest. What you could say is, all right, it's broken above the trend line, but has it made a higher high? Has it broken the previous crest? And in this case, what I can tell you is for certain it didn't. Right, so even though this is a fantastic example of what we would look for in a breakout, one way to kind of alleviate around that is to look for the making of a higher high in the case of a short, or the making of a lower low in the case of a long. I know I didn't mention that in the lesson, but I thought I'd include it now. So thank you, Adara, for adding that in. So why do fakeouts happen? What are the mechanics that causes them to happen? Well, there's a lot of stop loss hunting, right? The algorithms are out there looking for areas of liquidity and a lot of participation. The market makers, you know, depending on who you believe, are also looking to stop hunt you as well. So traders might place stop orders, you know, just below support in uptrends or just above resistance in downtrends. So fakeouts can trigger these orders, right? Forcing those trades and forcing losing trades and potentially pushing the price further in the original direction. And that's what we get when that happens. And there's also profit taking, right? When we come into key areas of either support or resistance, there's a lot of profit taking, whether, you know, to get out at a certain level or to get in at a certain level, depending on whether you're going long or short. So traders already in profitable positions might close their trades during a pullback to lock in those profits, causing a temporary price dip in an uptrend or a rise, obviously, in a downtrend for the short. So keep your eye on that. And then how do we identify some of these fakeouts? Here are some red flags that we can keep an eye on. Weak pullback, right? So we're looking at the pullback with respect to the size of it versus how it's pulled back in the past. So fakeouts often involve shallow pullbacks that don't reach key areas of of support or resistance. Be cautious of pullbacks that seem insignificant compared to the overall trend. And so, yeah, if the trend is huge, like the way that NVIDIA has been breaking out from 500 onwards, and I know it was breaking out way before that. I'm just trying to give you the 500 as a cutoff. Look at the retracements on NVIDIA. Are they shallow relative to that overall $400 move from 500 into 900? I think, you know, just without looking at the chart, I can probably guess that they are, right? And so that means really that we're, you know, any dips there at around 700, 800 were bought up, and we continued. But there's also lack of confirmation that we can look for, right? Remember, the confirmation tools that we talked about in previous lessons, like divergence we talked about yesterday with RSI and MACD, or strong candlestick patterns like we talked about in that week on candlestick patterns, their absence during a pullback might indicate a fake out, right? If the breakout candle fails, for example, to make a lower low in a bullish trend or a higher high in a bearish trend, it may be a sign of a fake out. So keep your eye on that. And look also for unusual volume. And in this case, by unusual, I'm talking specifically about low. Is there a low amount of volume in an uptrend to kind of support the idea that we're going to continue back up? Is the volume dipping relative to where it used to be? So keep your eyes on that. So sometimes fake outs are accompanied by lower trading volume compared to the main trend. This can absolutely suggest a lack of conviction behind the price move. And this one, I can't even tell which slides these are. I hate this. 6. So this is the right one. Thank you, Adair. So this one is a fake out. So every time, you know, we kind of break up a little bit through the trend line, look at that. You know, the break above the trend line is very perfunctory. Again, we talked yesterday about confirmatory techniques. You could have a 3-day rule, a 3% rule. Go back and watch a lesson on that if you want to know what that's all about. And so in this case, you wouldn't have had the 3-day rule, the 3% rule here. It doesn't look like. So, you know, this could have fallen within your allowable range through the break of resistance on the downtrend. And here's another one. This is a real breakout, right? So this one, we were making higher highs, higher lows continually, and then boom, the trend line absolutely got broken. And in fact, look at this. Even when we retraced and made a nice move off that support and went back in, look where it found resistance. Surprise, surprise, at a previous level of support. So support flips to resistance. That's, you know, one of the main things in technical analysis. And as you can see, it's declining volume, and then the volume starts increasing on the breakdown, right? So it's showing you that the breakdown is real. It's not BS. Thank you for putting those in. And here are some techniques to defend against these breakouts. So strict stop loss placement. And by strict, I don't mean put it too close to your entry, because I heard the Katina man talking today about to Brenkels about, you know, having these really tight stops. You take a paper cut, you put in another order with a really tight stop, you take a paper cut, and by the end of the day, you have 10 paper cuts and maybe 1 or 2 winning trades. And that absolutely makes sense. So in this case, you don't want to place your stop orders too tight. Give the price some breathing room during the pullbacks to avoid fake out triggers. And so by definition, if you're trying to manage risk and give your stop a little bit more room, you're going to have to drop the size. If you take the same size and give it a bigger stop, you're going to have bigger losses if it goes against you, and that's not going to work with risk management. So if you're going to give your stop more room, which I definitely think you should, you need to look into your size. Consider also trailing stop loss orders that adjust as the price moves in your favor. I know Neil uses these a lot, right? He wants to lock in those profits, right? Keep your eye on that. So stop loss placement, risk management, always maintain proper risk management. Don't risk too much on a single trade, especially during pullbacks with high fake out potential. And patience is always key. Pack your patience. Don't rush into trades based on every little pullback. Wait for the pullback with strong confirmation signals if you're using them before entering. And here's a great example. Thank you again, Adara, for an example of a false breakout recovering at a previous support. So then it looks like it was going to tank, and then it comes right back into that support level and then continues in the trend. So it stopped making higher highs and higher lows. It has a little bit of a period of consolidation, but lo and behold, that period of consolidation low ends up being that key area of previous resistance, now current support. And here's a little bonus tip. Imagine fakeouts as the market testing your commitment to the trade. You heard the Katina man talking today. You gotta be committed to the trade. And this, I mean, I didn't make this lesson in conjunction with what he said, which gives you an idea that what he has to say is full credence. I mean, I didn't make this lesson. This is from a source, obviously, right? So imagine fakeouts as the market testing your commitment to the trade. By being patient and using proper risk management skills, you can avoid getting fooled by these deceptive price movements. Stay vigilant and don't let fakeouts derail your pullback trading strategy, Adara.
Yeah, don't let fakeouts fake you out. I mean, that's their goal, right? That's what they're going to try to do. So what you have to do is you have to be ready for that 1-2 punch to be like, no, nah, no stock. I'm in control. I don't know, but yeah. In all seriousness, you really. They're going to happen, and they are going to fake you out, and so that's why, you know, risk management is really important. You might lose the trade, but you know, you've learned something and you've protected yourself. As Neil said once, something I really try to keep in mind is your losing trades should be boring, and that was a huge issue I had when I started. Is I would have these like dramatic losing trades. It's like the Meta Connect debacle where it dropped $3 the second Zuck entered the stage, and it's like that shouldn't be happening, right? If you have proper risk management, if you have a plan, then that's really all that you want, right? So also, yeah, thank you so much to Kyle Burdett as well for the support in the chat and just talking through. I really appreciate it, and I do think this is a great community, and I feel so happy not only to be here contributing with the chat and everything, which I always think is really important, but also with everyone, Sean, Neil, Brendan, Sharif, Obi, Brankles, Marine, Fabian, everybody in the back as well. Just what a community that we're here and a part of. For some reason, only got part filled in Reddit, even though we should have been able to get everything out there. So we're going to get out of this now. But I have to say, very happy with this trade. This is my best trade of the day. Only green name, actually, right now, if I'm being really honest. But I had to get out because we started compressing a little bit. I will say I was very proud I didn't get out the second we dropped below here. I said, we haven't made a lower low, Adara. Stay in. So we did. We had that exit point available, and we are up on the name. So pretty happy. I have to say I'm pleased as punch. But I'm also always looking for new opportunities. That Boeing range, shout out to Brad Gobert earlier mentioning this one. Unfortunately, A, my point of entry on this is really bad, and B, we fell out of the range, but I'm so happy I have the opportunity to get involved. So thank you to Brad Gobert. Thank you to everybody always when they see ranges just shouting me out, because it is much appreciated. We know I like my range trades, and I'm actually just going to move these lines in case we come back into ranges here, because I do like knowing what levels are previously of interest. And yeah, I think I'm like accidentally drawing lines here, because that line is not one I would have probably drawn, so we're going to delete that. Great thing about charts is you can customize them and do what you need to do. Why not joking that I'm preparing for Jake Paul with that little 1-2 punch thing? Yeah, we have a little bit. I think that will be beyond fascinating when that markets on the brain. When that fight happens, I think that will be incredibly interesting. So very excited to hear what happens there. Also, there was a stock being mentioned. Oh, NVIDIA about to tank, says Chris J. Yeah, let's see. I'm seeing a couple red candles there on my side charts. So I would be tempted to understand, not tempted, I do understand where you're coming from there. Yeah, if we break below that 90 EMA, that's gonna get really spicy. I wanna see, I'm gonna draw a level, and the level I'm gonna draw is gonna be this area here, this 941.50. Also, NVIDIA, when did you get there? But I think what happens here, if we break below this is a previous pop, right? I want to see if we break that lower low, lower high, lower low. If we break a decisively lower low here, I think, around this 939 area, especially because look where we had that top and turn earlier. If we break below like 939.80, I'm going to get into a short, because that was a previous area of resistance and support, and I want all the smoke. I might regret wanting it from NVIDIA, but that's what I want right now. Also, Sean has a new trade.
Yeah, the Katina man was looking at AMD short. It's right at the volume weighted average price. He just started it right now. I was just talking. I said, Katina man, what are you looking at? And he gave me a couple ideas there. So let's have a look at AMD. Let's bring in the side chart. We'll go to daily movers, and we'll take off a stock that's doing bupkis. Whoa, CGC. I promised someone I would look at CGC, and I totally forgot, and that's a mistake on my part. CGC is an interesting entry right now. It's again at the 10-period moving average, and it's at that low. Just big boy huadumped off 665 into 640, 635 there or thereabouts. This is what I'm talking about. Look how it's held the green line to a T. This is interesting here. I know I said I talk about AMD, but CGC caught my attention. So we need to look at CGC. And people were asking me about this in the chat earlier. So what I could do here is I could put a line in the sand here on CGC at 25. Here's the thing, though. This is the first time it had that big boy Huadunk. So is it better to sit at a different level rather than punching in here? Could we have a 20-period retracement? Maybe I should get something in at 16.15. Maybe I should be a little bit more aggressive with where I want the entry. Or I can have two. I can get in half now, and then I can put in my other half at the other level that I like. That's exactly what I'm going to do. So we're going to go long CGC here, and I'm going to look to DCA, dollar cost average, at that 615 or thereabouts. Where am I long? 38s. Okay. So we'll look to get more possibly at 615, but I really want to see how it trades and what the volume is like around here. CGC's up 40% today, guys. 39 and change, 40% or thereabouts. It's insane, Katina, man. Right? Yeah, so we're long CGC, maybe a little late to the party here, who knows. Anyway, we'll do the dance with this one if we have to. Small size, and I'll look to average in at a better price if it does make its way down there. Now let's look at AMD. All right, we're going to take off BAC. I didn't look at any small cap gappers today because they're kind of fading off, but let's look at AMD. Here it is. So this is what the Katina man was talking about. Look at this. I mean, we're getting, it's been an obvious downward trend for a few days. Look at that spike up at the open yesterday. My God, this thing took us to 187 3/4, and then it just absolutely tanked $10. It tanked $10 within, it's insane. It tanked $10 in an hour, all right? Whew. Yeah. It's nuts. And since that time, it's been making lower highs and lower lows. Right now, the low day is 175 exactly, 175.05. So we haven't broken Wednesday's low. Wednesday's low was 174. That's where the wick stopped out at. So right now, we're still making lower highs and lower lows. That trend has not changed right now. Let me just load this. On the future, okay, so CGC is breaking down, so I have to look at this. Now, it broke down below my level. I anticipated that this would be something like this. So now I'm going to have to put in my DCA at 615. I'm going to send it to you to put it in.
Yeah, I mean, I am dancing with literal danger, or we haven't yet. We're about to step into the boxing ring, I guess, and box with danger here with NVDA short. Now, we're scalping this. We're going to take this to 945s if we get there. And then I got in at 945.50, so I do think that's incredibly reasonable. If we break above 945, 946.50, we're out. Numbers. NVIDIA is really high there. But yeah, I think if we can get that 945, I would be pleased to punch. We're out. I'm really happy with this trade. Sorry for the shouting there. But just quick 50 penny NVIDIA scalp short. I didn't want to stay in there any longer because with NVIDIA, thank you very much for the bang button there. With NVIDIA, it's really dicey. Like whatever, that's another one. Like I said with Tesla, if you want to save a piece for the dream, sleep with one eye open. Same with NVIDIA. I have no dreams in NVIDIA. We're back basically to where I entered now. So pretty happy with that. I do have to say, I don't want to get involved again because I already think that was risky. And I also only got involved because I was watching the book like a hawk. With my NVIDIA scalps, I only take them if my eye is on the book for an extended period of time. And I feel comfortable enough doing it. I also consider doing it off the NVDX, except NVDX has the volume here it's below a milli. Lily's actually having worse volume, but still definitely below a milli. Also, speaking of Lilly, let's look at Novo Nordisk. Because I did see some weight loss drug related headline earlier saying that because of the amount of obesity, these weight loss drugs have a decent shot. I'm not seeing anything on Novo Nordisk, volume above a million though, but yeah. Sorry for the speed there. Very energized by that NVIDIA trade, I have to say. Let's see what the market keeps giving us. NVIDIA, if you want to give me some more scalp shorts or longs, I'm not gonna complain. But the thing with NVIDIA is NVIDIA gives back to you what you give to NVIDIA, right? So, sometimes they say what you give to life will give back to you. And I don't say that in general. Like I know people can be like, incredibly talented traders, and NVIDIA just, gets them, right? But my thing with how are you doing?
What's going on over there, Katina, man? Short AMD 177.35. Shout out to the Katina man, baby. Watch out for that AMD short. Just want to let everybody know. Go ahead, Adair.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, and I think that honestly, yeah, that NVIDIA is continuing to come down. But yeah, I think my thing is too with NVIDIA, at least with the scalp opportunity, is I like to make sure that I've watched the book for long enough that I've given NVIDIA my time and attention so that NVIDIA can give me a couple pennies. So there we go, or not a couple pennies, but like 50, you know what I mean? But the point I'm trying to make is I think it's a little bit reciprocal, right? Stocks don't care about your feelings. So in order to combat that, you have to make sure that you're prepared to come into battle and fight, especially if the stock you're fighting goes by the name of NVDA. There we go. Pretty happy with that. Just wanted to wax poetic about that trade for a moment there.
I like it.
Thank you.
Long, I got filled on the DCA at the 20 period at 615 on CGC. Let's see if it holds up here. My line in the sand is going to be $6. So it's going to have to hold above $6. Otherwise, I'm cutting it. So we'll wait and see what this one does. I'm keeping eyes on some other stuff as well. You have Lulu coming off that 390 low and came into back into 400. It's having trouble, obviously, breaking above that 400 level. Kind of not surprised about that. But we also have VWAP and 400 generally in the same vicinity. I mean, I think VWAP's in the low 399s or high 398s. And obviously 400 is where 400 is, but we're kind of consolidating here. Not really seeing one direction or another, just a long period of consolidation at this this $100 level. So we'll have to wait and see whether that holds up or not at this level. But it's going to be tough for me to trade Lululemon. It's awfully spready, so we'll keep eyes on that. Nike as well, getting a bit of a curl here. It broke above the 50 period, got into that 97.75. For whatever reason, dipped back into 93, did these bottoming tail candles into 93. Now it's curling right back up, looking to take that local high again at 93.75. And there it goes into 93 1/3. So Nike doing a curl and putting in higher lows. So even though we kind of huadunked straight up from the morning, at the bell there all the way down to about 91, let's say 70, thereabouts. So the amount of dollar range on Nike isn't not that much on the day, but I think this might be an interesting play if we are able to make a new high above that level. So we'll keep eyes on NIKE. We'll also keep eyes on Reddit. We've been watching that. That came in to yesterday's top over here and wasn't able to break through. So a bit of a V-shaped retracement, hanging out at the 220 period moving average right now at 49 1/4. So we'll see what Reddit brings. Definitely day two. It was an interesting day. And yeah, so we'll keep eyes on that. Keep eyes on CGC as well, as it's still in that general vicinity of the 20 period, not really breaking down below it. My out below $6.
Yeah, nice there, CGC. Hopefully you want all that smoke.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay.
But yeah, I'm watching NVIDIA because NVIDIA, I'm tempted to say there's ever a range in NVIDIA because we know she does what she wants to do when she wants to do it. However, if we fail this 946 again, some things might get a little spicy here. I'm sorry for that face. I'm just really excited by this stock. I tried to go long here off that hold of 943.50. We did not get filled, and I was not chasing that because it's NVIDIA. You do not go chasing waterfalls, and you certainly do not go chasing an almost $950 stock. So with that in mind, I had to say, no thanks, NVIDIA. This range might be a little bit faster than I can talk and I can breathe, so we're going to have to wait here, but I do want to look at some other opportunities. In the meantime, yeah, nice look there in NVIDIA, but also, and shout out to Carrie Weaver saying that she has her eye on NVIDIA here as well. But also, there was someone else, there was something else here, Dragos, with apparently a $12 Lulu trade. So congrats to you on that. Wow. Yeah, I mean, this is fantastic. And I don't know where you got long here. I guess at $12. Yes, you got probably long near the bottom, but this is I'm on the 1 minute here. Let's switch to the 3. I was on the 1 minute just to kind of trade NVIDIA because for NVIDIA, like I'll chart it on the 3, but if I'm going to scalp NVIDIA, you have to see what it's doing every second. So I'm guessing if you have like $12, you probably got long around this bottom here. That's a really nice look. Congrats to you. Not one that I have a read on, though I have traded Lulu in the past. Spread isn't bad. Spread's about 12 pennies. So for Lulu, that's not bad at all. Meta has had worse spreads recently, if I'm being really honest.
Oh, yeah.
So let's see how Lulu goes. I'm gonna wait and see. This is not one I really have a read on right now, though, but congrats to you, Dragos. Fantastic look. Also, Meta, speaking of spread over there, let's take a look at Meta. Meta, I was involved in this short. This is a boring trade. We made a higher high here. I got out, c'est la vie. on to the next, but I want to see what we do here. I think I didn't mean to draw this line. I was like, oh, I see a line, but no, that was definitely unintentional. Yeah, Meta kind of chopping and churning, right, trying to jump up above this 90 MA here, so not a bad look for META, but again, not one that I have a read on. If anyone sees any ranges, definitely let me know, because it's hard to find ranges in this market other than this very tight, very fast-moving NVIDIA range, so I might hop back into that roller coaster on an energy drink, because I feel like this NVIDIA is trading like it's on Red Bull or something, I don't know. But there's something really fun to capture, and I like scalping, I like ranges. Why not get you something that give you both? So I think NVDA might be my pal today. How are you doing with CGC?
Not bad, break even now, so the DCA gets me, well, the planned DCA, and now I'm in the money, but this is not it. I mean, we want to move up near that 6.5, 6 2/3. We'll see if we get it. Like, let's not get too excited at the moment. We do have this consolidation area here that we danced with at the third of a dollar, that we got to break above before we, you know, start getting excited here. So this was a calculated guess. It was either gonna bounce off the 10 period like it'd been doing all morning, and of course we get involved and it breaks the 10 period, but it does hold the 20. So we'll see if this one can make its way back into 30s. We'll see what we get here. Mira, the orange blues. Thoughts on Intel? Well, now that Neil's not here, I can really tell you what I think about Intel. No, I'm just joking. No, Intel is the recipient of a lot of government money, right? $8.5 billion. That's nothing to sneeze at there. And so long as that money keeps flowing in, the lights will stay on, right? So let's have a look at the technicals on Intel.
What's the Intel and Intel?
I like that. So let's have a look here. Look, obviously, you know, on the day, we're just marginally red. We're only down 0.12. Let's look at the 5. What are we doing here? So it's a bit, you know, Mira, I got to tell you, lower highs, lower lows. Not the type of directional move that I would look for personally on Intel. I would look for something more discernible than the sporadic price action. In addition to that, we haven't gotten too much range, right? The low is 42.09, the high is 42.64, so we're really not even a dollar in with range there. Yeah, I don't have a read on Intel today. I think something, you know, that's up 0.12, or sorry, down 0.12 by 12:30. You know, it's not its day. So I'm going to stay away from Intel on the day. But you know, if you're asking me what I like on the daily for Intel, well, these are trend lines that I've had drawn for an awfully long time. Okay, and even though you get breaks above them, look how it ends up. Extend your trend lines as far as they'll let you go, okay? Because you never know where they're going to come back into play. That's what all the TA books say, and you know, just go with it. You have nothing to lose by extending the trend lines. So what I mean by that is, even though we broke it here and the trend line ended up, you know, it was no longer valid once it broke up here. Look how it came into play yet again on these uptrends. So right now I see higher highs, higher lows for Intel. You have some fake out breakouts right here, right? That's what we're talking about today, but it's continuing to move up in the right direction. The next area that I see is that kind of 52.50. We got almost into that area, 51 2/3 back in, when was that? Late December. But look at this consolidation area low over here that we had in mid to late, 2021. That 52.50 or thereabouts. So we'll see. We'll see on Intel. I like it going forward just because, you know, it just keeps getting more money. And so if the government's going to keep pumping more money, it's going to really help them change who they want to be, and they want to be a chip designer. They don't want to, a chip manufacturer. They don't want to be a chip designer anymore, or so it seems. Back to CGC, so we make it up to 6 1/3, but this might look like a lower high. And what I will get out, I will not wait till the break of 6. If this one makes a lower low, I'll get out and we'll take the L there. Could have taken break even, but that's not the trade. If it makes a lower low through 604, 605, that'll be the end of the trade for me on CGC. We'll look for something else. But yeah, keeping my eyes on that, keeping my eyes on Lulu, because I did see Lulu broke above 400, and we were talking about Lulu having trouble above that $100 level. Well, it just broke above it, but again, kind of, you know, stale in its break, but who cares? Anyway, kind of wide, the spread is a little wide, so I won't be trading this, but I can call it out for you guys. Anybody who wants to trade it at home with smaller share size, we'll be calling that out.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get out of NVIDIA because, again, I apparently forgot how many shares I had in this, so there we go. We're not, oh my gosh, we're not out. Okay, cool. Thank you, NVIDIA. Oh, we're out now. Okay, awesome. We did lose on that trade. It did go out from under us. We held the level really well. We didn't hold it anymore. Yeah, on to the next. Got to stay positive, you know what I mean? That's one thing that's really, I think, interesting, too, about trading in front of everyone as well, is it's a good practice in just keeping your cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Market's going to do what market's going to do. I added it because we were holding that 943 really well at the time. We stopped holding it. I should have gotten out earlier than I did, but, you know, woulda, coulda, shoulda. Where's the next trade? So there we go. Congrats to Kyle Burdett, though, saying NVIDIA
Big
short on.
Kyle.
I mean, awesome. Oh, sorry, Big Kyle Burdett. To call him by his proper name. BKB, shout out to you there with that short. Honestly, congrats there. Picky Eater is saying Reddit trailing down. I love that name. And yeah, oh yeah, I mean, yeah, Reddit just fell with the viciousness there. Swoop to the downside. This is a nice level, actually, this 49. And look, we had lower highs, 49. Oh, this is nice. Anyways, massive short. If anyone had this move down there, congrats to you. You are more than $1 in the money if you took that 49 short. So that's a nice look there. Bears vs. Bulls saying buy SPY, question mark. So let's see what we spy with our little eyes here on the spider. Pamp it, Sharif says quietly. I like it's like pamp. Like it's like a whisper for dramatic effect.
What's going on over there, Katina Man? The Katina Man's still short and printing on AMD 177.50, baby. Shout out. Thank you very much for that, Ram. Gives us an opportunity to show you the Katina Man's trades right there on the side of your screen. On the right side, you'll see all his entries and what he's in currently. Brenkel's not doing much on the day. He's chilling. I saw him back there in the bathroom. He was really happy to be on. Ram, let me show that. And today we have today's biggest movers. We have the top stocks, the economic calendar. Got the ticker on the bottom there with the latest post. We have our ticker for the watch list on the top there. So make sure to check all of that out. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah, check out the watch list. We try to put some fun stocks on there every morning. I'm always in here and chatting with Sharif.
Yes.
About the watch list, and Sharif would be like, "Oh, I saw this thing," and I'll be like, "Ooh." So very exciting times. And yeah, shout out. I love being able to be here and seeing what the markets are doing ahead of time. Mira, the orange blues. I want to address this question because I think it's a really good one. Why not get in short now and earn back what you lost with NVIDIA? I think it's a solid question. It's one that I thought about. However, my other thing is, I think if I did, I wouldn't have had the planning there for it, right? I was scalping this off of a very specific range that fell through. And so I don't want to go short just because the long didn't work. Do you know what I mean? I don't know if that makes sense. I know that's one thing that Neil said as well that I really tried to listen to is he said, it's perfectly fine to reverse the direction on the trade, but you have to have kind of a plan for it, right? I remember actually earlier I said if we decisively failed this 939, I'll get short. So maybe that's my reason for entering short. Look at that, I said it earlier. But yeah, that's what I mean, right? So I think I don't want to get involved willy-nilly just because one thing didn't fall through if I don't have, confidence for it, right? But I do totally see your point, and I appreciate you for asking it because I think a lot of times too, sometimes asking questions can help you realize the way you're thinking about a thing, right? And it can kind of help you contextualize your own thoughts. So I always appreciate the questions in the chat. It helps me kind of understand why I'm trading the way I am, and maybe there's, I'm not trading well. So I think that's always really important. I always appreciate the questions there. Tesla moving says Chow Buster in all caps. So I think they're very excited about Tesla moving. And let's see if we can bring that for them. This is interesting. Yeah, Tesla moving, but Tesla's still struggling with that 169.50 area. And if you're guessing based on this chart that someone was a little upset with Tesla 169.50, that someone was me and that someone was upset. This is a very bamboozling area. We hold it, we break below it, we break above it, we hold it. I don't know, if we keep holding it, I want to wait to see what direction we go, but something spicy is happening in Tesla, except we have had lower highs and lower lows. So, je ne sais pas, I don't ever read, but I do think, NVIDIA, I appreciate you for saying that, Mira, the orange blues, because now I'm thinking about maybe an NVIDIA short, because I did mention I was tempted to short it earlier. Let's see what we get. Small share size, perhaps, may chance. And yeah, I'm so excited to keep seeing what these markets give me. Only way for me to go today is to the upside, because I'm very down on the day, or not very down, but I'm down on the day.
All good.
But that means that, yeah, exactly, right? I try to think of it in optimism. That means the only way I can go is up those stairs.
There you go.
How are you doing?
Well, we're still we're 2 pennies out of the money right now on CGC, as it's not, vaulting to the upside like it was this morning. So maybe we'll just take what we can get on this one. So this one at that $6.25 area.
We'll see if this one can hold up at that 50 penny, or move up, sorry, into that 50 penny area. That's where I'm looking at taking profits. Really, I don't want to get out of this trade because look at this. I mean, after that move down, it's been putting in higher highs and higher lows, but they're kind of anemic. And that's the thing, right? So that's what's concerning me a little bit about this trade, but we'll keep eyes on it. Magic Mike, Sharif, Adira, took NVIDIA short for the first time in my life. It ate through my whole day before giving me $100. Respect for Sean, who has been shorting it like a champ. Shout out to the Yucatina, man. Getting love there from the chat on NVDA. Yeah, man, it takes a certain beast to short that monster and stand in front of it every day, day in, day out. So shout out to the champs who do that. Let's keep eyes on Google, because I've been looking at going long this one because I want to go in the direction of the trend, right? And Google's been strong on the day, 1.84 to the high side. But it looks like, number one, it's kind of off the highs at that 150, 150. In addition to that, broke below the volume weighted average price. It does look like it is holding up at the 50 period for whatever reason. Let's see what it respects on that day. May not be VWAP, may not be the 10 or the 20. Today, Google's flirting with the 50 period, hanging out at 150 and a fifth. So if this one starts curling back up, showing you its inclination right now to hold that level, because it hasn't printed anything below that. I'm talking about the 50 period on the 5, by the way. The moving average is different depending on what time frame you're looking at. Anyway, so holding up right now until it starts showing me its intention to maybe get away from the 50 and that 150 and a quarter area. We'll stay put on it for now. What else is popping off here? Apple also coming into the 50 on the 5. Looking to hold up there. I saw some people yelling in the chat there about an Apple short, and they may be absolutely right. Looks like we had a 173 or thereabouts rejection with those topping tail candles coming in at 172.90, and then we precipitated down since that time. Looking at areas of support, the first one that I really see here is 171 2/3. That's where the volume weighted average price is. Below that, it's going to be yesterday's close at 171 1/3. So we'll have to see what Apple does from here on in. All right, CGC putting a couple of more green candles here, not making me look bad. So we're about 10 pennies in the money right now on CGC. Yeah, it's a small position though there. I got to be real. So we'll, maybe we'll celebrate, maybe we won't. We'll see exactly what it gives us on the day. But this is the higher low and higher high. But look at this. These are anemic pops, right? You're not getting that move.
That's a bamboozling one.
A little bit. I like how it held the 20 though. That is kind of like one check mark beside its name. One X beside its name is the volume that it's kind of pumping back up with. We just talked about looking for a volume as one of the indicators for a fake out, right?
That's true.
So, I mean, it's in the lesson. So we'll keep eyes on it today. If it doesn't, if it breaks down, it breaks down. That's just the way trading goes. What is this? AMD. Okay, so AMD's on the way up. Katina Man, yeah, the Katina Man's done with that. As soon as it broke the 60 level, the Katina Man cut it. Shout out to him. But AMD, I had this up on my chart because we were doing an analysis of it. Let's put that 178.50, which is yesterday's closing print on AMD. Now, Nike. Okay, a bit of a recovery here for NKE off the bottoms. We were touching 91.75. Now we're doing the dance with 93.75. So, but a couple of bucks off the bottom there, above the 50 period, above VWAP. So trying to make higher highs and higher lows. We got to break through that 93 3/4 to make another local high there. So eyes on Nike. It reported earnings yesterday, kind of tough for them, I think, with all these athletic retailers and I think just discretionary goods in general right now are taking a bit of a beating, so we'll see. All right, let's flip back to some of these big tech names. What do we got here in big tech world? Oh my God. NVIDIA's the gift that keeps on giving. Great defend off that previous resistance level, now formally support. Look at this, the wicks over here. I tried to get it on NVDL and then I misplaced my stop. I fat fingered it and it got right out. So I did actually get in here on NVDL, but then it stopped me out immediately. I could have got back in, that's my fault. Anyway, support becomes, or resistance becomes support here. We reject off that level initially, then we make our way back down to it. So essentially $940 holds on NVIDIA for now, and it's back up into 943. So we'll keep eyes on that.
Yeah, I mean, I was keeping eyes on it because I was involved in it. The short, I timed it badly. We lost. But, honestly, I think my biggest issue is my timing, and I think working on those bad entry points is my biggest thing I'm trying to do. I have a knack for getting involved in stocks at the wrong time. And you got to admit that sometimes, right? So that's really what I'm trying to work on. I think the short might be here. I got short because I noticed we were failing that 942 a couple times. I saw it. I liked it. I wanted it. Now, je ne sais pas. And we broke above that 943.50 with a viciousness. We broke above that 9 EMA. I get out and NVIDIA's like, ha, 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 jokes. We're going to go back below. So you know what? It's a bamboozler, but you know that going into it, right? You can't go into NVIDIA and be like shocked that it moves quickly, right? So say la vie on that. If I don't have a read on this one right now, so I'm going to be all hands off deck on that. Also, shout out to Picky Eater mentioning Tesla's had a range of about $1 all day. My issue with this one, though, despite the beautiful range, is that it's hard to know what direction to play it. Because we'll have these opportunities where it kind of seems like a long, we might have some support, then we fall back down, right? We'll be above the 9 EMA and then we'll fall below, we'll go above, then we're up. Like, if what I'm saying sounds confused, I think it's because Tesla is very confused as well, right? No, I'm joking, but I think it's hard to describe the movement of a stock that is ranging, but not in a way that is really super discernible. With that in mind, a stock I tried to hang out with earlier that is continuing to look spicy to me is Microsoft. I tried to get this double bottom, and as you can see here, this 3-minute candle, way too strong to get involved. It said, ha ha ha, Dara, you're not getting involved here. I don't know why I made it sound so nefarious.
Yeah,
but
it's
it
so
did.
sinister.
So sinister.
I love it.
But yeah, so let's see what we do here at VWAP. It's going to be looking for this double top. It is not a double top. So let's see if we push above VWAP. I don't have a read on this. However, if we get to this line I drew earlier, which is coincidentally around VWAP, 427.60, could be down to the downside. Would I short it? Yes, I would. Also, I like this thing from Diamond Realty Miami that I'm trying to take to heart. Never the wrong time, just the wrong direction. So I appreciate that. And I want to... I want to get better, and I think that's one thing to kind of learn. Stock traders saying they have the same problem, so I appreciate that as well. I appreciate everybody always being really honest with the trades in the chat. And also, shout out to Sharif yesterday, too, talking about, yesterday we were talking about Reddit. Remember, and saying how hard it is sometimes to just recognize when you're wrong in a trade. So I think, we always tell real stories on here.
Absolutely.
And I think it's a really good community. Just got to learn how to trade, and I feel very blessed to be here.
Likewise, couldn't echo that sentiment better, Adara. Thank you for pointing that out. Yeah, I mean, you saw the Katina Man trade Reddit. You saw Adara trade Reddit. I find trading IPOs quite tough. I talked to a lot of the traders back there yesterday about what their techniques were. I talked to Josh. Josh had a really good technique on it. He made money on the Reddit IPO yesterday. He had a very interesting technique of basically adding aggressively on every dollar break. And I actually like that because what we saw yesterday was the break of the dollar, like say 54, 55, and then it would tank, but he was already in the money, so he could give it a bit of a buffer. So you talk to this person, you talk to that person, then all of a sudden you've got 4 or 5 different ideas that you can build off, and now you've got your own idea. So that's why, coming here, man, was like the best decision I've ever made, to come here, to be next to the Katina Man, next to the Neil, the Brendos, Brenkels, Wainers, everybody on the floor, man. Everybody has their own style, their own taste, their own flavor, and and Max, man. What am I saying? I forgot to mention Max, the Lambo man. Everybody has their own flavor, and everybody does things a little bit differently, and I think that's how you kind of come to your own conclusion of what your style is going to be. Guys, Lulu's on the way up here, man. This is a V-shaped recovery for Lululemon. Let's bring in the chart, because Lulu's doing things over here, as Adara likes to say. Look at this.
This is
I mean, we're not back at day's highs or anything. Let's not get carried away, but we were talking about a 400 top, and we were consolidating. We're at VWAP, 400's the top, this, that, and the other. Well, okay. 405 is now the top currently. So we'll see if this one can make it into that 410. I'm looking at this bottom end consolidation here at 412 to go into high days 418. Obviously, to go green on the day, which we probably won't, we got to break above 480. That was the closing print yesterday before the big boy Huadunk after the bell there on. I'm sure you guys caught that on the market recap show, baby. Did you catch that big drop on Lulu yesterday on the market recap? Oh yeah, I bet you. Of course you did. Yeah, yeah. So it was all over that. Shout out to the Katina Man. No market recap today though, baby, because it is podcast day. There it is. Ram's on fire, bro. Look at that. Calm down there, Ram. Yeah. So Great look there with Lulu, and we'll see if we can make our way above 405. Right now, doing a bit of a topping tail candle dance at that 405 area on Lulu. Diamond Realty of Miami, when is NVIDIA going to flush? Brother, I think a lot of people are asking that question. So if you find out the answer, you send it this way. No, look, 946 HOD on NVDA at the moment. And the thing about this one is it dipped in. You had a couple of red candles over here, but look at where this support area is, Diamond. It held up right at previous area of resistance, that 940 area. So it put in a couple of candles. Keep your eye on 940. I think if you give up the ghost at 940, that'll be the second attempt, and you'll also have a lower high. So if that 940 breaks or you make another candle to make a new low, maybe it would be interesting here to take it short. But look, let's be real. It's a counter trend trade. This thing's up 3%. So taking it near the high short, you know, it's not for everybody. But hey, if it works, it works. So shout out to you. If you take it, let me know. Big Kyle Burdett Sharif. NVIDIA, max risk high of day. SPY, max risk. 522.25. Took some profits on the first move down. Have small positions left in both. Still looking for larger move down with last piece. Shout out to you, Kyle. Hope you print. Mr. Lib, I'm thinking if it breaks 405, it'll be a change to the upside. I happen to agree. I think he's referring to Lulu because we're kind of doing the wick shimmy dance from the south side to the north side with Lulu. Keep eyes on Lulu. You moved to the market flush, says Diamond Realty. I'm pretty sure it has nothing to do with me, brother. Mahmoud, I think it'll never flush. Ha, 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 ha. I've been hurt so many times trading contra trend. I agree with you. I like to pretend that I'm a momentum trend trader. So I fall in that category with you where I don't necessarily like taking counter trend trades, but doesn't mean they're not profitable. And that doesn't mean people don't do well on them. And as I talk about that, now we are precipitating to the down side here on CGC as we haven't made another lower low. So we have made a lower high, we haven't made a lower low, but it is rounding now. And the rounding, I think, is more indicative of than the V. It shows that the selling is really coming in here. If this breaks that 605 area, 604, that's out. I'm not giving it to 6. If it makes a newer low, that's my line in the sand. We could have taken some profits up there in the 30s, but that wasn't the trade. So we'll take the L if it ends up breaking.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just took another L in NVIDIA. I'm going to be out of this one for now. I think it's just not my bestie, so we're going to let her breathe. I think she needs some time away. Also, there is a trend tickler, the trading turtle, in the chat. I don't know if it's the real Trenda, but she is in the chat. And so this Trenda saying hi here. Here you go, Trenda. Lots of trending tickers today. So, I mean, definitely in the right place there, Trenda, and Trenda in the chat. But also this Tesla continues to be bamboozling, and I continue to kind of want to dance with danger here. I honestly, the direction on this is really hard to read. I kind of said that earlier too, right? Well, we have these bounced off the 9 EMA, so I think there's some kind of long opportunity, but we're also kind of curling down, so there's also, I think, a short opportunity. So my response will be to scalp. That will be how I said scalp so aggressively there, but I will be aggressively scalping.
I like it.
We're going to try to get involved 169.45s. We take it into 169.70s.
Pamp it.
Pamp it, indeed. You're in 2 longs there. We will really pamp it up there for you. Pamp season. But yeah, I think this is, I really like this Tesla. Let's see what happens. If we break below this 169.20 area, I'm outie. Also, Lulu I have up on my side chart because I want to wait for that 405 break because this is getting increasingly dicey. These little, as you mentioned, that 405 I think is really key, like these failed wicks in here. Then we have this little green candle. I want to see confirmation, but if we have this nice 9 EMA bounce, I will take it long.
You want all the smoke?
I want some of the smoke. I want a portion of the smoke.
Some of the smoke. I like it.
I'll take, you know, a scintilla.
Okay.
How are you, speaking of smoke, CGC?
CGC's back up, believe it or not. So we didn't get stopped out. We put our stop. It's in place, but now we're back up to 620. So we're 7 whole pennies out of the money on CGC, but it did hold up that level. So not taking this trade out. And that was a bottoming tail candle on the 5. That's a bullish candle, but it hasn't closed yet, so it means nothing until it closes. And you know, again, it's not that it means nothing, but also even if it closes that way, it's one candle. Let's not put too much stock into one candle. Let's break above key resistance. I want to see that $6.50 break here before we start celebrating on CGC. We may not get that on the day. Long Google. The reason I went long Google, let's talk a little bit about this trade here. About 10 pennies in the money on Google. Reason being, well, this was the area that I want to get long. So if we broke above that level of resistance that we had here on this range, then I want to get long. And look, we broke below the volume weighted average price, now reclaiming it. The market is in positive territory now. The NQ absolutely pumping up. I did not see that 18,577. We've broken the highest we've been since basically 7:15 this morning. The closing print on the NQ 18,561. We made it up to 18,577, and we're still in the mid 70s. We're at 75 right now, so we could see 600 on the day. 600 is exactly where pivot point is. Yep. If you don't know what pivot points are, go to the YouTube homepage for Trader TV, type in pivot points in the search, and the 2 lessons that Adara and I did on pivot points will show up there, and then you can have a listen and know exactly how these are quantified, how they're derived. But the future is on the way up here at Adara, and it is lifting some of these Mag 7 names with it. I'm talking about you, Meta. I'm talking about you, Microsoft. I'm talking about you, AAPL, and you, NVDA. They're on the way up. Let's wet our beak here on some profits on GOOGL. We'll look to get that print, Katina Man, but we haven't gotten it yet. We'll look for it. Hopefully, there it is, bang. Let's see if we can continue up to the north side there. Adara.
Congrats to you. That's awesome.
Thank
You
you.
were killing it today. It is a fabulous Friday.
I'm
for
happy,
Sharif.
but I'm not killing it. Let's be real. Yeah. Thank you, though. Thank you for bigging me up. I do appreciate it.
We're going to say pamp it for sure.
Pamp it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you can check out the video on Instagram if you want to hear me my attempt to say Sharif's camp it.
All right, so let's just explain to everybody what's going on here. So I used to say pamp it, right? And that was my little thing. And then, we were asked to kind of copy our cohorts. And Adara copied me in the way that she did best. And it was completely not how I do it, which is fine because she's her own person. But then I started adopting the way she did it, and that's how it spiraled out of control.
Yeah, so now there's I don't know who's the real Pampit. Who's the real Slim Shady? I don't know. I think it's definitely yours. But now they've all kind of warped and evolved. Also warping and evolving is Reddit for kind of a weird transition
let's
there.
Talk about that.
I like that we held up here. This was coincidentally the Adara level. Again, I don't have names for these. I call them my micro ranges or the Adara lines, but I draw them based on, I guess I should maybe call them, because I know you talk about previous areas of support and resistance, and that's what really inspired me to start looking for these areas. So definitely shout out to Sharif for that. But I like that we had this kind of hold here on Reddit earlier, and we pop back into that area, and I say, yes, I do want the smoke. Thank you very much. I'm getting out if we break below 47.80, and I'll probably be taking out some profits around this earlier line I drew around 48.80. So let's see what happens here. Kanye Easting with a real pamp shady, please stand up. I mean, yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that. Also, 2 super chats to talk about. Thank you so much to Paul Powell dropping some hot lines this morning and also dropping some hot lines in our chat. Martin Lucas gave Tilray $40 price target. Crazy but possible. Let's take a look at Tilray. Tilray is certainly a good day to look at Tilray as well, when you consider the fact that this one is moving along with Sharif's pal CGC, a lot of these other weed-related stocks. Also, shout out to Brankles, going to be killing again with Sean in the afternoon, and he was trading CGC earlier as well, I do believe. But this one basically higher highs, higher lows. We did have one lower low, but we bounced off VWAP, and we do so with this chef's kiss of a bottoming tail cancels here. Look at this. They don't want to go below VWAP. So nice look at Tilray. But I'm guessing with that price target, you're going to be wanting to look at the daily chart. So this is just for context. That price target would be 20x what we're currently trading at. Because we're trading at around $2. They're saying about $40. So let's see. I mean, I don't know much about the fundamentals of the company. I'm going to be really honest with a lot of price targets. That's kind of going to want to be what you're looking at, right? So let's see when we have earnings last on Tilray. Not seeing anything here. But let me look up when they report next, because that could be what's happening as well. Tilray reports earnings next here, April 8th, 2024. Okay, so this actually could get spicy.
Nice. They're
coming up soon. Generally, what I'm seeing, lower highs, lower lows. So this might be a fundamental play. But yeah, I think 40 could be a bit ambitious for Tilray. I would wait and see. I would wait for a higher high. We could break above that 240. Then I'd be like, what are we doing around 320? You know what I mean? Keep seeing these higher highs. Actually, 420, ironically, also a bit of a level here for Tilray. We did have a bit of a double top here earlier at 420 for Tilray. So if we could break above 420, I think that would be a great look for this 420 adjacent name. Also, thank you so much to Ahmed Awala for this 729 AED super chat. A negative waiting for the next drop on NQ. So let's see what to do about this NQ here. We're not going to go the daily. We're going to go the 3 minute here.
Okay.
On the end or on the QQQ. Sorry. This is higher highs, higher lows. Honestly, this is a pretty nice look. But again, I'm trying to look at the charts less with ETFs because I know a lot of times it's price action. We did just break green though on the QQQs. I will say that, Ahmed. But we are coming into an interesting area of resistance. We're around that pre-market chop and churn now. So what are we going to do with that? We're going to have to wait and see. Slightly positive on the Qs. I think this break above this earlier rangy area that I'm really sad I didn't see is a nice look for sure, right? We broke out of that range. We said, nah. So I think we could continue positive, and I think this break above that earlier high of 446, not a bad look at all. Reddit pulling back a little bit. I had a dip buy in NVIDIA, but I'm taking it out because I think I'm gonna have to say dip buy to that dip buy. How are you doing though in CGC?
Good. Back into 34s. We're sitting at 35s for a print here, just to take some off the table because a nice double bottom at 605, but that's not the end all and be all. I want to de-risk a little bit. Now showing 35s on the ask. It's gonna have to cross for me to get printed, and well, it doesn't look like I'm going to get printed quite yet, so maybe I should stop staring at it. Now, I made a big mistake here, guys, on Google. I took out everything at the wrong spot, so I have another dip trade set up at 1075. I didn't realize I took out everything on Google. That was a mistake on my part. We got long at 63s, and now it's at 87s. We wet our beak at 75, so I have another dip trade at 75. It didn't come into play, so it looks like I won't get filled at the moment. Right now because I'm looking for that dip trade on Google. I'm not chasing it at these levels. Well, let's see what it does at 151. What's going on, Katina Man?
We're still on Google 150.30.
The Katina Man is long Google 150.30. That is essentially the bottom end of this area right here. I think you got like 7 pennies above bottom wick, maybe, give or take. So I think we wicked the bottom there at 21s. Okay, so 8 pennies. Yeah, you're never satisfied. You're always angry as a trader, straight up, right? You never held for long enough. You never got the highest point. Never got the lowest point. You've got pretty much the lowest point there. So I'd be content with that one, Katina, man. That's a hell of a trade, especially since you didn't fat finger your way out of this one. I'm kind of disappointed in myself there. I'm going to have to cancel this trade because it's no longer valid at these levels. I want to watch what we do at the whole dollar level. Maybe we can get a bit of a rejection, come back down into the volume weighted average price. I'll be able to reload that out anyway. Very disappointed in myself with this Google trade. I had the right idea. The execution was very wanting, so that's neither here nor there. All right, now we're getting filled on CGC. There goes 635. And where is that dude in the chat that told me I missed CGC? Where are you at now, bro? All right, now up we go into that 650 area. We'll look to wet our beak at the $0.50 again.
Sharif just said, cash me outside.
Yeah.
So
dude was chirping.
Yeah, I know. Someone earlier as well, I think it was Kanye East, was shouting out your lively interactions with the comments in the chat there as well.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to let people hear it when I don't like it.
Well, I mean, it keeps it entertaining, keeps it fresh. So I think this is a really nice look there. Also, thank you so much to Rocco saying, Dear Adara, thank you so much. I don't know what for, but I'm really happy to be here, and thank you so much for being here and participating. We really do appreciate it. I have nothing else to say to that, but that's very sweet of you, and thank you. Also, Jay Lee saying, Adara or Sharif, please bring this up. Maybe a bounce play for ENTX or MRNO. MRNO recently got de-SPAC'd. I'll look at MRNO first because I remember this story from earlier today. That's Murano. I weirdly, I don't know, sometimes I remember tickers. But yeah, we're kind of pushed above here. I would see pretty clear resistance around this 21 area. Why? Look at this kind of area we had support early. We right below it. We can't even get 20s now. Murano says, no, and we continue to fall to the downside. Volume here just above 1 million, so a bit of a weaker volume kind of play here as well for the day. We did get a little bit of volume, though, on those green candles to the upside. I have to be honest, I don't really have a clear read on this because I think this stock is just kind of trying to find its wings. It looks like we just halted, so I'm going to go to clarify that. This does look like a halt to me, though, that we just broke out of. I'm not seeing anything on... Oh yeah, there's volatility due to its recent acquisition. Says yeah, kind of as I remembered it there. Yeah, I don't have a huge read on this. I think there could be a bounce play. I'd like to see what we do with the 9 EMA, and I say that because look at that top and turn read earlier at 16.5.
Good call.
16.5 comes again. 16.5 is near where the 9 EMA was when it broke. I think I like that area. I do like that area.
Oh.
Also. Oh, you like that?
I do.
Was that too much?
Yeah. I was like, yo, I don't think I know.
Yeah, I mean, I think, who knows if this area will hold up, but I do know that it's an interesting area.
I like that.
Appreciate that. ENTX also, I'll look at this quickly for you as well, Jay Lee. This one I know nothing about, so let's learn, because this is what we do here on How to Trade. E to the N to the T to the X. Intera Bio. Oh, I remember this one a couple days ago. Yeah, so it was from a couple days ago. GLP-2. Okay. So, the GLP-1 trader in me would have liked that. GLP-2, peptide tablet treatment for patients with bowel syndrome. So, yeah, this one to me, though, I'm going to have to immediately say no to, and I say that because of the volume. We're just above 200,000 shares, well below 1 million shares. To me, the volume's not really here, and I'm really only seeing lower lows and lower highs.
Okay, Google rejecting 151. This is interesting. This is what we were talking about, right? So this, now, a bit of a topping tail candle, and it's completely counter to what the future is doing. The future is pumping to the high side. We are at local highs. We keep printing local highs. We're on our way into 18.6. And then you get a nice retracement here on GOOGL, rejecting that whole dollar level. So is this the entry here on Google? Is this as good of a pullback as we're going to get? Because the future is headed to the high side here. Apple's on the way up. Meta is far off the bottom there, $3 off the bottom. Softy's on the way up. Even the dead one today, Apple, is moving up a little bit into high days. Apple's like 15 pennies off high a day. Decisions to be made here. And yeah, there you go. Let's look at this. Right back into near the highs here at 150.95 Adara. This is a tough decision to be made. What's your look here right now, Katina Man, on Google? You see that move through 151? The Katina Man is more excited about shorting Meta. Are you looking at 509?
Well, yeah, my head would be 510 and change.
The Katina Man, if he gets into Meta, his out would be 510 and change, thereabouts.
I'm in Meta. I'm short at 508.75.
The Katina Man is now short Meta 508.75. Keep your eye on that trade, baby, as we move up here, baby, on the future, on Meta. What's going on? He was doing that from the side, the corner of my eye. I could see him doing that. I was wondering what was going on. But obviously, he was trying to get Ram's attention. So, yeah, looking at these. Sorry to interrupt you, Adara. I think we have to do the lesson.
I was going to say, yeah, I think it is learning time. I have a dip buy in Lulu, so we'll see if we get dip bought.
I will mention quickly, CGC on the way to day's high, baby. 4 pennies off day's highs. Please, dank punch.
I'm so pleased for you, honestly. And he's punching the desk, so you know he's pleased. His literal punch there. Oh, sorry, I leaned in very intensely there. Shout out to Sharif. Reddit's still in, so I'm not getting out of this. Lulu, we're near my dip buy. Let's see if we get dip bought, and let's see if we run in our little leggings to the upside. Metaphorically, of course, because Lulu sells leggings. Let's look at our lesson of the day, which I am not on the right page of. Here we go. First page, beware of fakeouts. This is the lesson of the day, and certainly a lot of opportunities get faked out here, especially with some of these more volatile names. How do we try to combat that? What do we need to know? Well, here we go. Let's get into it. Pullback trades can offer so many great entry points, as we've discussed this whole week kind of ad nauseum, but there is a sneaky villain lurking underneath the surface, the fakeout. So we're going to talk about how to identify and defend against these deceptive price movements. First, you have to understand fakeouts. A fakeout is basically going to be a pullback trade that tricks you into thinking the trend is changing and then reverses course to continue in the original direction. So we call it a fakeout because it fakes you out mentally. It basically says psych and then continues it in whatever direction it was initially running. Here's one example here too. So we have the bearish trend, then we come in here and we have a false breakout. Also, you can tell it's false because it actually kind of didn't even really precede the previous high. We still had technically lower highs, but then it turns out it was a false breakout. It was for naught, and they continued to the downside. So nice look there on this example. Why do fakeouts happen? They could happen because of stop loss hunting. Traders might be placing stop loss orders just below support in uptrends or above resistance in downtrends. And so fakeouts can trigger these orders, which force losing trades and possibly push the price further in the original direction. Profit taking is also part of why these happens, because traders who are already in profitable positions might close their trades during a pullback, which can cause a temporary price dip in an uptrend or a rise in a downtrend. You want to be able to identify some of these fake out red flags if you can. So how might we go about doing that? Well, here we go. Weak pullbacks can be a red flag for a fake out or a false breakout, because fakeouts will often involve shallow pullbacks that don't reach key support or resistance areas. So you're going to want to be cautious of pullbacks that seem insignificant compared to the overall trend. You also want to be looking for a lack of confirmation. We've mentioned earlier this week and basically in all our lessons, you always want to make sure you have that confirmation to ensure the movement is doing what you think it's going to be doing. If you don't have this, if we remember earlier confirmation tools from previous lessons regarding divergence, strong candlestick patterns, etc., their absence from a pullback could suggest a fake out. And if the breakout candle fails to make a lower low in a bullish trend or a higher high in a bearish trend, that could be a sign it's trying to mess with your head. It's trying to fake you out, and that it's not a real breakout. Unusual volume is also important to note here as well. Sometimes fakeouts are accompanied by a lower volume compared to the main trend, and this can suggest a lack of conviction behind the price move. So here's one example of a true fakeout. We had, the example here earlier to show the trend was still active. We had this long wick of sellers saying, no, you don't, to buyers and continuing to the downside. Then we have a couple of attempts to break out, but there's no follow through. And in this second case, we have another wick to the upside, which looks like we still have some buyers in control or sellers in control in this trend. Here's a real breakout though, and you can tell because we have lower volume on the move up and then a massive move to the downside with strong volume. This breakout was real, it was not a fake out, and it is a dicey look there, for lack of a better term. Defending against fake outs is something we all want to know how to do, right? How do you do that? Strict stop loss placement. Don't place your stop loss orders too tight. Give the price some breathing room during pullbacks to avoid fake outs, and also consider a trailing stop orders, as Neil is wont to do sometimes, that adjust the price or adjust as the price moves in your favor. Risk management, also really important. You want to maintain proper risk management and not put too much pressure on a single trade, especially during pullbacks with very high fake out potential. Patience is also going to be key. You don't want to rush into trades based on every pullback, something that I struggled with a little bit today with NVIDIA. And you want to wait for a pullback with strong confirmation signals that says, hey, get involved. But maybe not like that. So here's one example here too. We're in an uptrend. Then we have come into previous support here. We think we're going to break down. It's actually a false breakout. We hold support and we continue to the upside. So here's one example, looking at previous support to see, hey, this trend might be still valid. Here's a bonus tip. Thank you to Sharif, as always, for putting these lessons together with these fun little bonus sprinkle of tips as well. Imagine your fake out as a market, testing your commitment to the trade. By being patient and using proper risk management, you can avoid getting stopped out or getting fooled, or hoodwinked, if you will, by these deceptive price movements. Stay vigilant and don't let fake outs derail your trading strategy. So that's our lesson of the day. One last time here, and Lulu's running to the upside, and I'm really happy. I got involved at 405.50, and we're almost $1.50 in the money. We got involved while I was in the lesson.
Hold on. You said $1.50 in the money?
I did. Oh, thank you.
Was
Thank
that
you so
loud,
much.
Ram, in your ears?
Oh, okay. I was going to do it again.
Was it loud? I wanted to torture you
No,
more.
she said no. It was like, aw, anticlimactic.
But yeah, no, I'm really happy with that trade. Reddit, I'm going to have to get out of, but I'm really proud I took the Lulu. And congrats to Dragos. I don't know if you're still in this trade, but I remember Dragos earlier saying $12 in the money.
Ivan
in
Drago?
Lulu. No.
Oh,
No.
come on, bro. Ivan Drago.
How are you doing? I know someone was saying in the chat, CGC getting high.
I'm up, baby. I'm out, baby. We got out at 70s. I'm very happy. We were long 15s at that point. And okay, so the initial entry over here was at 39s, but I said very specifically, Ram, that I was looking for that 20-period defend on the. Let me show you on the 5-minute chart. Guys, we're on the way into 15.6. Sorry, I keep saying 15. I don't know why I keep saying 15, bro. 18.6. We're at 18.6. I don't care right now about CGC. We have to talk about the futures because this is very important level, guys. Let's watch what we do at 18.6. We have the 100-point level, pivots also there. The overnight pop right there as well. Look at what we did at 5 a.m. I don't know why we were that high at 5 a.m., but whatever. We got into 18,607. So I'm watching right now the futures. Is a critical point for me. Look what we did at 18.5. The wick shimmy dance galore at 18.5, and we didn't hold it to the T, but we held the level. Let's be real. The low is 18.492, so we held 18.5. Do we reject now off 18.6? Right now, we're putting a bit of a topping till candle. I want to see what happens here. There are good trades to be had, whether on the Mag 7 names or whether on the future derivatives. I'm talking about the Qs, the T triple Qs, the S triple Qs, whatever derivative you want, MNQ, NQ. There's so many ways that you can trade this depending on what you have with your broker. Right now, a couple of points above 18.6, but not with that vigor that you look for to take that level. So definitely not punching into here until I see more. I want to see whether or not we do the wick shimmy dance at this level. Again, the wick shimmy dance is not my own concoction. It is something shown to me by Arun, who is a former futures trader with the floor over here. This was kind of how he was looking at the futures at these levels. Obviously, his skill, not like mine, much more skilled. He has a lot more experience. But, that's my understanding of it. And so I'll just pass that on to you guys. Keeping eyes on these Mag 7 names. I know we're at HOD on NVDA because, well, I could have told you that we were at high a day just based on the futures because NVIDIA has been leading the futures. It has not been Tesla. It has not been Microsoft or Apple. It has been NVIDIA as of late, and there's been a lot of confluence between the chart on NVIDIA and the chart on the future. Not so much today, though, but we have seen a lot of overlap between those two charts as of late. So keeping eyes on this name. I want to see exactly what we do at this level. We're not breaking it with any vigor, so I'm not ready to, take a trade on this one way or another. But 18.6 an important level for me, so we'll keep eyes on that. Let's flip to some of these other non-Mag 7 names that we've been looking at on the day. All right, so here is AMD. Our friend AMD is up into that $1.80. So if that rejects, if we reject 18.6, AMD, I'm kidding when I say AMD, 180, another critical level for that stock. So it could absolutely reject off that $10 level. So we'll keep eyes on that. Reddit, what's Reddit been up to? Not really, NQ related stock. It comes into that twice, Adira. Look at that. That closing print from yesterday, 50-50 or that 50-47, whatever it is. We wick shimmy dance into it 3 times, and all of them rejected, but with bamboozlement. Let's be real. Look where it went up to. Went up to 51s. You had to give this one a lot of room. Right, so the wicks were real, and they probably stopped out a lot of traders. We're at 47.50 right now. You saw the Katina Man get long 45.50. Another bottom wick trade for the Katina Man on the day. Lulu, my God, Lulu, what a recovery for Lulu. I see it. I see it.
Yeah.
I see the outs. That's a great trade, Dara.
Thank you so much. And I mean, the thing, thank you, I appreciate that. And I think the thing is, too, is shout out to, there's a couple people in the chat here. I think Barcat, Drago still in the long, that are still long Lulu. And I want to clarify, I do still think Lulu could have some more room to run. Some people were saying potential inverse head and shoulders on Lulu. And you know what? I do see what you're talking about. We have here are the shoulders here around that 396. We have a skosh of a neckline here around 400. If this was an inverse head and shoulders, we broke it many moons ago, but I don't think that means it didn't exist. You know what I mean? I just think it could be in the throes of it still currently. Look at that 388 area. We pop up there with a viciousness, really nice look. We have these double touches of 396. Then we break above that 400 area beautifully. Also, yes, I want to clarify why I left, because I do still, it's not like I left because I was like, oh, I think it's going to reverse. Like, I do think if you're still long here, power to you and congrats, because I think this has been a fun look. However, I left because honestly, the momentum-ishness of this, for lack of a better term, the momentum, I'm just going to say the momentum. The momentum of this is not always my style, right? So I wanted to be very cautious. I got filled in this while I was doing the lesson, so I just had an eye on my side chart, and I was, I didn't even have really time to press out. I was gonna consider getting out of here around 406.50 or 407, and I'm really happy I didn't. But the reason I got out where I did is because look at the top here of this kind of bamboozling candle. It was around 409. That's why I got out where I did. It was really just me trying to use the scalpulation a little bit to help out there. But I am really happy with this trade, and I'm also very happy for everyone in our community who's involved in this and involved in any trades right now, because what a day. What a community. So happy to see as well what Sean and Brankles are up to and what they have to say as well. Shout out to TL Bryant, so I didn't see as well that you were in Lulu. So congrats to you and shout out to you on Lulu. Killing it there. Also, Trend the Ticker, the Trading Turtle, killing it in the chat here with some points. And also here she is. So go Trenda, the sentient Trading Turtle. And Lulu, if we come back into having a dip buy opportunity off the 9 EMA, don't mind if I do. I'm really happy with this. And the spread is actually not bad here right now in Lulu either.
It's
probably
not,
helped, probably aided a little bit by the fact that the volume is at almost 12 million. So nice look there. Yeah, happy for my Lulu people running to the upside in the leggings and shoes.
Was it aiding and abetting?
I was just gonna make that joke.
You
Oh
know
my
exactly
gosh,
what I'm
the
talking
legal
about, too.
joke.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sharif and all the lawyers here, and also Law and Order Toronto. You might get my shout out.
Was it an accessory after the fact?
It was, and it aided and abetted, and it was criminally negligent.
State of mind, I love it. Yeah, I haven't watched Toronto Law and Order yet. I have to watch. I have to watch it. They have a bunch of whole the posters in the subway.
I know.
They're trying to advertise for it. You're not down, eh?
I like the OG better, and I will say there was one line, and this isn't a spoiler, so I will say it. There's one line in the most recent episode. I have been watching the episodes, I'm gonna be honest, where the guy says, you know, you can't convict people for liking the same soccer team. Believe me, I've tried, and it's like.
That would
Why?
That would hit home.
Yeah, it was a little weird. But I mean, yeah, you would, if for the soccer team thing, I'm sure that would be, I literally saw that and I thought that was.
For years, I felt I was being like condemned for being an Arsenal fan.
Oh, yeah.
You have no idea. It's suffering as an Arsenal fan. Yeah.
Idris Elba's an Arsenal fan.
Who?
Idris Elba.
Oh yeah, that I knew. That I knew. There's a lot of Arsenal fans out there. It's hard, Rojo. It's a hard time being a Cowboys fan too. The last time we won a Super Bowl was '95. Yeah, I was 13. You know what I mean? Like that's a long time ago,
I didn't mean to like have this conversation. Take Sharif down like this trauma lane. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, it is trauma straight up though. Like I mean, it's not easy being a fan of certain teams because you just go so long without anything. You know what I mean? So anyway, hit it, Katina man. What do we got? What do we got? Okay. So let's talk about Meta because the Katina man was short Meta 508.70 something. And here we go. Now down into 508s again. Nice couple of green candles there, Katina man. That's a good look, my man. Shout out to you. Ram's always like panicking when that noise comes on. We are doing the wick shimmy dance. It does looks like right now we may be rejecting 1860. You have a big topping tail candle here, and now we're a little bit below it. So now we need to start thinking about what we're going to take south, and I'm going to take AMD south at these levels. Let's go. My line in the sand is going to be the break of 180. Let's see how we do here, Daryl. I'm going to send it to you to put out my stops.
Yeah, we're going to be, I think, chip twins because I'm taking Micron south, which I have to say I'm already regretting. MU said Micron, or sorry, not MU, that's the ticker of Micron. Someone is tired, and then someone is me. But it's okay. Mr. Lib was saying Micron's starting to run, and I saw this double top, and I said, I want all the smoke. We're gonna have to change our point of entry here, though, because I've said this before. I have an issue with having the exact perfect, there we got filled. Okay, so if we break above this, sorry for the intensity there. If we break above the 110.10 area, I'm out of the short. Also, though, I think we might have to take some pieces out because I just realized we're kind of seeing this constant area with this 9 EMA. We're going to take some of this out at 109.71, but I'm going to stop talking because I thought you were going to press a button.
Oh, no, go ahead. Do your thing. No.
But yes, I thought you were going to press an animation. But yeah, I'm really pleased this punch here with this Micron short. And Sharif and I are chip twinning. Are you... Yeah, everybody's in chip names right now. We got part filled here on this Micron short. I'm so happy. I don't know. This is a really fun market to be a part of. I was feeling a little bit down with that the NVIDIA trades, and Tesla was being stressla. And it's really, the thing is too, is you just have to, I think it's best to kind of not be in that negative mindset when you're trading because you don't want it to be you don't want it to be like a revenge trade, right? So we had the NVIDIA losses, and I just had to brush the dirt off my shoulders and see what else do I like. I like Lulu, I got involved, right? And so hope that makes some sense. But right now, the only thing that makes sense is that flush, Sean shimmying down the toilet there. I don't understand that animation.
Well, it's not him, it's Meta, baby. That shimmying down the toilet. Meta on the way down. Now Meta is now in negative territory yet again, baby. It tried its darndest, Ram, to try to take that 507 and change level, which was the closing print from yesterday, but it was not to be because 18.6 came in And we have local resistance at 18.6, which precipitated a lot of these shorts that you're seeing right now on the Mag 7, whether you took Microsoft 429, whether you took Apple 172, high 172s, or whether you took the Katina Man trade, high 508s. You know, what doesn't seem to be tanking at the moment, GOOGL, TSLA, even NVDA. Yes, I know NVIDIA is $4 off the top, but $4 on a $900 name is like a spit in the bucket. Let's be real about it. Obviously, it's hard to manage risk. That's why we've been trading NVDL. By we, I'm talking about me. All right, so keeping an eye here at 18.6. So far, we've rejected it. We put in this topping tail candle right here at the 100-point level, which is also overlapping with pivots. We haven't broken down below 18.6 with the viciousness. So we've been talking about fakeouts today. Keep your eye out on a fake out here as we could curl right back up above 18.6. So make sure you've got profit takers in case, you know, this is a fake out breakdown, right? Not saying that it is. I'm not saying that's what I see. In fact, I kind of see the opposite. We have a topping tail candle on the future. We have a new 5-minute candle to make a new low. So you've got all the good check marks there beside its name. You wick above 18.6, but very light wicks. By light wicks, I'm talking about 4 or 5 points, 9 points at the highest over there where we got into 18.609. So yeah, I'm just not exactly 100% sure that we do the wick shimmy dance and reject 18.6. And so in case, you know, you're like me and you're unsure, take some profits, right? So we already took a couple of profits there on AMD. Let's have a look at CGC because Jay Lee was saying maybe right now, yeah, Jay's like maybe a short on CGC now seems a 50-cent drop is likely. I'm thinking so in any case. You're not wrong, Jay, but this thing is a monster on the day, 680, and I'm not seeing anything really, you know, make me jump too quick into this short, Jay. I'm not seeing any lower lows. I'm not seeing any lower highs. I'm not seeing a breakdown below a key level. So, you know, me guessing up here isn't really kind of my modus operandi. So I'd like to see more confirmation. So let's see what we get here on CGC. I'll be keeping eyes on it as I typically do, right? Let's look at some other stuff over here, Adara. Wow, that was a good short, Katina, man. Shout out to you, brother. That's on the way down. Well, any profit targets or anything like that? The Katina man took one beak wetter at 508. And then another one at 507.60. He just got printed right now on that. Why can't we get VWAP, he says, which is hanging out in the 506, let's say, and a quarter, yeah, and a 50, in and around that area. Shout out to the Katina man. Great short on Meta there. As, you know, that was perfect timing with 18.6. I'm really impressed by that trade, straight up, because, well, it's Meta. What are you looking at over there, Dare?
Yeah, these Micron shorts, I know everyone in the chat here is saying Micron go up, and I do think I have maybe played with fire a little bit. I was honestly, when everyone was shouting about these chips with the dip, shout out to Opie who said that in the past, I wanted to get short on this Micron move. We had that move down. I was really proud. I have to say, pretty pleased with Punch with his exit, but I did keep a piece. And I said, I knew this was a risky trade going into it, right? I think we are riding the 9 EMA, and I got in, I'm going to be a little bit honest, on the rush of seeing this double top and that big old red candle. However, caveats. If we break above 110.10, I'm out. This is a very tight stop. We've built a little position here. I have the beak wetters ready to go, so the ducks can just kind of bob their little heads at 109.75, 109.65, 109.55. Here we got at 109.50. I think that was... I'm very happy with that fill. I don't think we're going to get it again because I do think Reddit isn't a little, or not Reddit, Micron, I almost said MU, Micron is a little bit of an uptrend, and that was definitely a mistake I made. So let's see if we have this, if we have a solid, a legitimate push up here, up with a viciousness, as I say, at this level, I'm going to have to say bye.
Trade. Is that bottom wick?
Yeah.
What's going on over there today?
I don't.
What was all these bottom wick great trades?
Thank you.
And this is not a range trade either.
No, I don't really know what possessed me to take it.
Oh, okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Who could not want to have
more tools in their repertoire.
I appreciate
So
that.
if you can range trade and you can momentum trade, why would you not want? Why would you want to do one to the exclusion of the other?
Thank you.
You know, so
Learning,
shout out
but
to
I know you momentum trade a lot as well, and I think honestly, like, thank you to you, and I really appreciate your insight as well, because I remember that Apple trade I took earlier this week. You were like, "That's a momentum trade." I didn't even realize it was. So it kind of makes you realize, like, don't think of yourself as one kind of trader. Think of yourself as a trader who mostly does this, but has some other little, as you would put it, bow arrows in their quiver. And so I appreciate. Thank you very much for that.
All right. Yeah, shout out to you, Adara. Look, guys, we're still fighting the fight here at 18.6. You know, you try to, you know, let the price action play out and not to take rash decisions, but, you know, sometimes it takes a few minutes to decide if we're going to reject a 100-point level, and some other times it takes 20 minutes and maybe even longer. Right now, we're in the 20th minute, so we've got into it at 110. Now we're going on to 130. We're still at that level. We haven't given it up or broken above it. So yeah, questions to be asked at these levels, right? And we have another, yeah, I already mentioned this level already at 5 a.m. So the NQ doing things.
It is.
I know, right? That's your line. Did you notice Tesla? Tesla's quietly put in a bunch of green candles over here. Yeah, off that 168.75 dip at the volume weighted average price. And now it's knocking on the door of support level 1 because it's negative on the day. Well, support level 1 at that 50 penny area, 170.50 here on TSLA. We haven't broken above, number 1, the day's high, which is this print over here at 11:30. Got us into 170 3/4. We're still below that. We're still below pivots. But if we break above this 170 3/4, I think that they may have a move here on TSLA, especially if the future gets above and holds above 18.6. I think we could definitely see 172.75 to go at least flat on the day. If not 172, maybe 172.75 is a little ambitious. I think maybe we make it up into that whole dollar level at 172. That is, number 1, we print a new HOD at 170.75. Number 2, the future. I'm talking about the NQ, breaks and holds above 18.6. What is it doing? It's 2 points off 18.6. There's a fight going on right now at the wick shimmy, but I gotta tell you, so far, the fight is being fought from the south side, not from the north side. So it's not like you claimed 18.6 and then came back to it and you're using it as support. No, it's still a resistance level. You haven't broken through it. So even though you're getting a perfunctory print here and there, 18.601, 18.605, it's not being defended as that level because you're breaking down. So again, here we go. We're above 18.6 again on the future. Let's watch what we do here. Are we doing the wick shimmy dance for an eventual rejection, or are we going to claim this level and start using it as support? That's what I want to see. And you know, sometimes it takes longer to find out. We'll pack our patience. We'll wait here. Tesla coming into that 170.50. In fact, it actually broke it. This could be an interesting move here on the MAX-7 and on the future there.
Yeah, I mean, I got back into Lulu, and then Lulu decided she wanted to take a little dip to the downside. That's okay. I took a much smaller position, though, on this one because I didn't want to give up the gains. I have to say, I was really proud of that earlier trade on Lulu, and so I didn't want to go in and kind of give everything up there. I'm just trying to get out of this. So we're part out of this. Micron looks like I might have to be getting out of Micron here as well. Okay, we didn't get fully filled on Lulu. That's okay. Come on, Lulu. Please leave. Thank you. So there we go. Lulu is just dancing around in those leggings like crazy over here. Are we out now? We should be out now. We're not, so hopefully that'll get filled post-haste. We are still in Lulu. That was a bit bamboozling, I'm going to be really, really honest. But just happy, though, that I am still up on the day and that I took a smaller size because I knew it would be a little bit of a riskier trade. That also looks like it could have been a fake out because now we're coming back to the 9 EMA.
Oh.
So sometimes you get out bottom wick, and what you do is you just smile, you laugh, you brush it off your shoulders.
Well, go cry in the bathroom. Yeah, they all
That's
would.
true. Yeah, also valid. Also, Micron broke way out, and I completely missed that, so we're going to have to get out of Micron here as well. Shout out to anybody who's long that, which I know is a lot of the chat, so congrats to you. I did have a successful fill in here. I tried something, it didn't work, you take it, you laugh, you move on. Honestly, just really happy with that Lulu trade. We did give back some of that, but I did try to take a smaller size to mitigate a little bit of that risk, and that's what Refrain is all about. Definitely something I'm still working on. So there we go.
Did you see your friend Boeing today?
Yeah, Boeing was a range earlier. Shout out to Brad Gober telling me. Tried that range. I got involved right as we broke down, but I got out before we got the real breakdown, so pretty happy with that.
I like it because we pumped up big. Do you know why we pumped up like this? Was there something in? You don't have to look it up because it's kind of done now. But I just don't know why we pumped up big.
With Boeing, it could be anything.
Yeah, straight up. Do we have anything on that?
Oh, airline leaders to meet with Boeing's. Okay, these aren't really good. Boeing airline leaders to meet with Boeing's chair over safety concerns, reportedly skipping CEO and high stakes
talks. Yes, I saw that was yesterday because I mentioned that to Brenda when we were at the big desk.
Oh, then they're reporting this late then.
Yeah, because they were going to meet without Calhoun. They were like, no Calhoun for you.
No Calhoun for you.
No, but in all seriousness, Boeing popped up into that 193 area, and then we had the wick, like basically just showing you that sellers were in absolute control of this, given that all these candles here were topping tail candles, and then we had the break of VWAP, and then you used VWAP as that resistance level. Any pops into the volume weighted average price were all sold off. All right, guys, I got to keep eyes on the future because now we got back above 18,605. Here comes 18,609 a quarter. That is technically the high of the day. So now if we start printing higher highs here, now you have to start wondering, do we take Tesla? Do we take Amazon? What do we look for? Do we take a direct trade on the futures here? So yeah, we're above 18.6, but again, looking like topping tail candles, no confirmation that you're going to hold that level, at least not for me. I don't see it quite yet. Now, as I tell you about that, let me tell you about this. Tesla's getting going here. So Tesla broke 170.50, 1750, and it made a new local high above that 1130, 1135 print that we got into 170.75. This bad boy got into 170.82. Let's see if we can continue to pump up here on TSLA, broke these local levels, it bounced off the volume weighted average price. It's putting consecutively higher lows off that. What the hell is that? 165.40 bottom. That is a pre-market low. But look at this. I mean, we're putting in higher low, higher low, higher low, right? So it's a good look there. I mean, it's a bit of an upward channel, albeit, a bit of a deformed one. So we'll see. We'll see here on TSLA. I'm just not convinced that we're reclaiming 18.6 on the future until I see more, right? You're getting 1 or 2 points above it. No, this is not what I'm looking for here on the future. I'm gonna pack my patience because this could be a short. It legitimately could be a short unless we really pump up here. So we'll see. What's the chat looking at, baby? MU love you, says Samsung Comp. All right. Harold. Good, I didn't read that out loud. Push back and we'll be, push back and will be a Boeing. All right, whatever. Dushan, CGC still holding 2,000. Don't want to risk too much. Shout out to you, man. That's a whole bunch of shareage to hold up there on CGC, Ram. Woo! As it's a good look, man. Shout out to you. We're still not really above the area that I got out, but we're still holding these this 10-period moving average. So I don't know where you're long from, my man, but shout out to you. That's a whole lot of shareage to hold there. I hope you print on that. What else we got over here? Yeah, I know. People are like, what? Just looking at some of the comments there in the chat. BGZ is short Apple, he said. Let's have a look at the short on AAPL. Let's see what is happening there. Yeah, decent rejection off that 173 Ram. It came into that 172.94, and now we're kind of breaking down below the $0.50. Look, I'd say keep eyes on the 50. Right? Last time around, we bounced off that 50-period moving average. We ended up holding that 172.10 or thereabouts. If we get back, I would say into 172.25, 172.33, keep eyes on the red line. Well, on my chart is the red line is the 50-period EMA. I'm looking at the 5-minute, by the way. If it comes into that level, I'd look for a bounce, but I think you're right, short till that time. Let's see what else people are talking about here in the chat. Dan the Man Emmons, short ES 5301 stop, 5304 targeting, 5287, 5282, 5274. Shout out to you, Dan. Let's have a look at the ES. We don't typically look at the ES all that much because we're looking at the NQ because we keep trading all these NQ adjacent names. Here it is, the June contract. Let's see what Dan's looking at here. So this is the 53.02 that we touched. This is all pre-market stuff over here. This 53.11 high, that is a pre-market high. So it looks like we're doing, Dan, the wick shimmy at 5,300 in the same way that we're doing the wick shimmy at 18.6 on the future. We're at above 5,300 right now. As I look at my side chart, we're below 18.6. It's nice when there's confluence between the ES and the NQ. That hasn't been the case as of late. It was the case for a while. And that's the thing that I got used to. The ES moves one way, the NQ moves another. And now that's kind of, we're becoming separated a little bit. But yeah, shout out to you, Dan. 53.02. Yesterday is the closing print on the ES June contract. So it's obviously been a resistance level. There's that white line where I charted the closing print. Any pops into 53.02 on the day after the bell have all been sold off, including the IB high, which took us into 53.04. So shout out, Dan. Hope you print. And yeah, maybe we'll print with you on the way down on the NQ. Big Kyle Burdett. Back to full SPY short position, got stopped out on last trade, re-entered NVIDIA. Shout out to you, Kyle. Look, we're probably looking at the same thing. Jay, sorry, bro. We have 2 green and 2 red days this week. Sorry, Jay. I just didn't have an opportunity to go and look at the ES. It's just a quick flip to the daily. I could tell you which candles are red, which candles are green. It's just, you know, I got to do this, that, and the other. You get it. Magic Mike. We got to give Magic Mike a different name because he's been tagging a lot in the chat, and I feel like he may deserve a nickname here. Sharif, Dan, this is a big level on the TQQs, hole 63. This rejection could be big if it plays out. Magic Mike, dude, I'm with you on that one because I've got the TQQs loaded up, and there you go. So that is a double top so far at 63. The only thing though, Magic, is I'm looking for that 62 break, 62.80, excuse me, break. That's the trough that we put in here. I'm also obviously looking at the wick shimmy unfold on the side chart. I'm talking about the MNQ, or the, look at the NQ, not the MNQ. The NQ on the 5-minute chart here. And we're below 18.6 again. So it looks like we probably will reject 18.6, but I'm not gonna jump into this. I need confirmation today.
Yeah, sorry, I'm just staring at Lulu. This was so stressful. I got back in. We were trying to get out. We accidentally bought in before we could sell. We flushed. So I think we're probably right on this name now, but it is what it is. I have to get out of this because this is not what I wanted for my life. And as I say that, we pop back up. So Lulu, if you want to make up your mind, give a girl a call. Just let me know, right? Just let me know. But no,
how you put that. This is not what we want to do with our life.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like the thing is, you have to try to stay calm, right? And that's what I've said. I think is one of the best aspects. I think for me, one of the healthiest aspects of trading when you're in front of people. Because as I've said before, I exclusively trade during the midday, right? You really have to stay calm because you can't, like, you know, go throwing things or pull out your hair when you're out in public, right? So I think it's really good practice. We are unfortunately red on Lulu now with that fat finger move, and I was pretty good for fat fingers all week this week, so it's goes discouraging. But as City Lauper says, don't be discouraged. So we just gotta pick back up, try again. And the thing is too, I can recognize this was a red day. We had some issues, and still be proud of this initial trade we had. So I'm not gonna be too upset about it. The market happens, and all you have to do is just kind of see what goes here. Mira the Orange Blues asking for a nickname. I am not the nickname bestower here. That honor goes to my pal Sharif, so I guess he usually does the bestowing of the nicknames. I can't believe we only have 20 minutes left here on the show. What a day it's been here in these markets. I hope everyone's been as energized and having as much fun here. Insect Uncle saying, I'm enjoying this, which honestly, love that. Hope you're enjoying the markets here. Hope you're enjoying being here. And we're always enjoying everyone being here and being with us. So we do want to give a quick shout out though too, as well to our lovely sponsor at Benzinga Pro. In a moment here, let me get my life together. Here we go, this is Benzinga Pro. As you can see here, I was searching that Boeing news earlier, and they always have a lot of exciting stuff. I use this to help make the watch list. We use this when we go see what stocks are moving. If there's any news, it'll just drop right down, and then we know that something has occurred. And so we are brought to you, as we've said, you know, by Benzinga Pro, and you can actually sign up today for 50% off their premier news and research platform for retail traders. All you have to do is use the code TTV, capital letters. That is T to the T to the V, capital letters. Use the link in the description to go to checkout. So thank you very much to Benzinga Pro. always check out that news there. Very, very grateful there for their support and the ability to use their lovely platform. Lulu's being really bamboozling. I'm not going to look at her right now. We're going to let her do her thing, 21. NVIDIA, talk about a tight range. This has got to be for NVIDIA. This got to be like a dollar range or what? Tried this a couple times, had one successful trade, had more unsuccessful trades. NVIDIA, though, this is getting really compressy. If I keep an eye on the book, there could be a trade here. Overall, a little disappointed that I ended up fumbling Lulu a little bit, but still, I can still recognize that we're down in the day and be happy with some of the trades we had. And I think that's one thing, too, you have to recognize. This is a cliche, but don't cry because it's over. Smile because it happened. So that's what I'll say about that Lulu trade.
I love it. I like that attitude, too. Sharif, look up MO, please. Long or short? Yes,
Altria.
How do you know all these tickers, bro? Like, what's going on? I thought I was supposed to know.
I have an eidetic memory.
Do you actually have an eidetic memory?
Yeah.
So
not
you're
for
like
everything,
the Sheldon Cooper?
I guess. Like if I see stuff sometimes, or I get like deja vu because I'll remember like really specific, like I was looking at this thing at that angle and saw that thing, and that's how I think I remember the tickers.
I love it. I love
you.
it. I mean, like, my affinity with Sheldon, like, right?
I think maybe that's why we get along so well. Is because I feel like you're like, oh, it's like Sheldon
Right?
Cooper. I don't get sarcasm either, much
It's
like
all
our pal
good.
Sheldon.
Yeah. He doesn't have an idea about sarcasm. Like, that about the show, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen much of the new one, but I've seen some Big Bang.
I really wonder if he's actually based on like a character one of the people knew in real life. You know what I mean? Like one of the writers. It had to be one of the writers.
Because it's so specific.
It is, right? For him to have like that disposition. Anyway, let's look at MO. Altria Group, all right. What does they do? Tobacco, okay. Smokable products. Do they have vapes? Because that's really the future here. But hold on, somebody banned vapes. Was it New Zealand?
I didn't know that.
I think New Zealand banned vapes.
Oh, I know a couple friends that wouldn't be able to go to New Zealand now.
Maybe they have to take it with them. But yeah, no, I'm pretty sure New Zealand banned vape. Did they?
Oh, there's a couple that have banned. Australia, legal to use, illegal to possess nicotine.
It's probably Australia, okay.
Yeah, so there's you just can't smoke a Nick vape. So at that point, you're just smoking a canister there, I guess.
Yeah.
But anyways, Altria is an interesting one.
Yeah. Let's have a look. This is the weekly on Altria. Okay, so like with a lot of stocks, Ram, we made that high during the pandemic, right? Or no, this is not even the pandemic. What am I saying? This is 2017. Eek. Okay. So we did make a bit of a local high during April of 2022. Look, I don't like this chart. 7 years is a long time to have a downtrend, okay? And that's the fact of the matter is we peaked in early 2017. So we have been making lower highs and lower lows on the weekly for 7 years. You have not made a new high. Look, I don't know, man. I personally don't care. You smoke one way or another, that's your business. But I'm just telling you what the trend is. I think more people are quitting these tobacco products and that are coming into the market. That may not be true with vapes. I'm not 100% sure, but I know cigarettes for a fact that's the matter. The data suggests that. So what are the ranges here? This is the weekly. To the low side, I like 40 as support. So you buy 40, and that goes all the way back to October of last year. Any dips into that 40 region have all been bought up. So that seems like a decent area of support. It also finds more evidence to support that level going back to September of 2022. That was a weekly low. Again, in July of 2022, we held at 40 or thereabouts. So 40 seems to be at least a 2-year support level. Okay, before that, a big ziggy-zaggy, kind of hard to read a little bit.
Ziggy-zaggy.
Yeah, it is.
It's
super ziggy-zaggy, right? Look, the overall trend, though, I got to tell you, down and to the right, we're not at all-time lows, but we are not making newer highs and not making high. Well, we kind of made higher lows here a little bit with this dip down. That's March of 2020. That's the COVID low. That's the March COVID. So, I mean, you can't really use that as a base. Yeah, I'm going to say 40 you buy off 40 with a tight stop, maybe at 39. That's what I'd say to you there. I hope you print, obviously. Jared Tweedle, CGC waked me out by 2 cents on the last dip and then goes onward without me, small tears. Brother, been there. Okay, hold on. That's not CGC. Wow, CGC. I thought I was a dang genius getting out here at 6 3/4, and the market tells you, you're no genius. You're just, you know what? $7 we make it up to here, it looks like. So 7 HOD on CGC. I'm sorry, Jared, man. I mean, that's just kind of how it works with this stuff. Let's keep eyes on 7. We haven't taken a whole dollar level since we took 6, and last time we took 6, there was a bit of dance here. We dipped below it a little bit. Keep on the lookout. I don't know how much more we have here. 52% on the day for CGC. It's been a good time to be in weed, I guess. The Boring Man. I quit smoking 2 years ago, after smoking 6 for 20 years. My man, we're gonna hit the bang for you. Very happy. I know my old man, it took my old man years to curb that habit, and you know, he still has cravings every now and again. So I'm just gonna shout you out, and I'm pleased for you, brother. Obviously adding some years onto your life, goes without saying. Scott H, CGC at $7. I called this out this morning at 5 break. Let's go. Shout out to you, Scott. I know you called it out. I know you tagged me in about CGC. You know, I didn't listen. That's on me. Shout out to you. I hope you print. Samsung Comp, Sharif, thank you, and Adara, shout out to you. Igor, thank you. No, thank you, Igor. Shout out to you as well, my man. What else we got down here? Makes 2 of us. I got pulled out of CGC early, says Yoel. Kind of the way that it works around here, Yoel. AAR, Serious Canadian Colloquial Language. Really? I don't know. I feel like I just talk like my sister, and she's American.
That's right? True. Yeah, you do have an American family member you can compare yourself to.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Okay, we broke 7 on CGC, guys. 705 HOD. Now let's look at what we do here. Do we kind of range around this level, or do we take it? So let's keep eyes. CGC up 54% and counting, baby. It's been a good day to be in weed. It looks like this market is going up, Adara. So it's time to punch in a little bit here on these MNQs. Or sorry, T-triple-Qs. Go.
Yeah, I'm in NVIDIA, so that market going up would be really nice for me. It's not a short, it's a long. So if you're crossing my face like, you know, the Edvard Munch Scream painting, but NVIDIA does make you want to scream, so I think that's pretty accurate there. Trying to get out just shy of 947s. That might have been a skosh optimistic, I'm going to be really honest. But I still don't think it's hopium. Sorry about that. Sorry about that. I wanted to get out just shy of highs on the day. Highs of the day were 947.39. I appreciate the money button there. It wasn't a little optimistic. I kind of knew that going into it, but I did get involved because I saw us. Like I said, with NVIDIA, if you want to dance with the devil, you have to be like watching the devil. This is a weird analogy. NV Devil A, I don't know, but we got to that 947. We rejected it harshly. Then we recovered around this 945 area. But I was watching earlier as well. 944 was nice. I got involved a little bit early. 945.50. Added some at 945 when we held. And I said to Dare, if we break below 944 with the viciousness, you get out. We didn't even break below 944. There was no viciousness to watch out for, which made me, say it with me, please, this punch. Sorry for the yelling there, and also I slapped the table so hard my hands are red. But I had to say I was really happy with that trade. NVIDIA chopped us up a little bit earlier, and this is what I mean when I say an avenge trade. Although someone in the chat did point out accurately that avenge and revenge mean the same thing, I think sometimes, maybe call it an amend trade. You had a bad trade on the day, and you come back and you say, you know what, I'm not going to let that get me down. And I tried not to do that here. Also, Bonkzilla was saying air high five. So you know what? Air high five to you, Bonkzilla. And real high five there from this team. This has been a really fun day.
Yes.
Can't believe there's only 10 minutes left, Sharif. How do those TQQQs go?
Well, we're long at 03s or 2 pennies. 2 whole pennies in the money, Adara. So it's time to count our blessings here. No, for real. I want to see where this is going to go. We're at high a day. We're printing high a day right now, guys, on the NQ. The NQ is at 18,619.5, but there's going to be, bamboozlement here and there. We're probably going to come down and test 18.6 again. If history's any guide, we'll see what we get. Nothing too crazy to celebrate. We'll see where we're pump up to, but it looks like we've claimed 18.6 at least. In my interpretation of things, we did the wick shimmy dance at 18.6 for a while, a little bit above, a little bit below, and now it looks like we've claimed it to the high side. We'll see if we come back and retest it. What are you up to this weekend? We have 10 minutes left, so
I want to do some writing for sure. I'm actually like kind of in a screenplay contest right now, so I kind of need to deal with that.
Okay.
Because that finishes tomorrow at midnight.
Yeah, you're just gonna throw that in there like that without me asking questions?
Okay.
So you're in a contest.
Yeah.
This is very interesting.
Yeah,
So
I like doing the contest.
what are the rules here, if you don't mind my asking?
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I've done this one since I've started working here. And the reason I add that caveat is because how it works is you have X number of days to write a screenplay of certain length with certain prompts.
Okay.
So we had 8 days, 12 pages, and you have like different kind of prompts. They give you a genre, a character type, and then just kind of a random thematic word. It's really fun. I really like doing
very
it.
cool.
Thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. So I'm still kind of working on that. That will be what I'm doing this evening and weekend, but that's finishes Saturday night. So that gives me some time to do some other writing for myself and maybe go for some walks. And knowing me, probably sleep an aggressive amount on Sunday. What about you? What are you up to?
I actually have no idea. A buddy of mine just reached out to me now. He wants to hang out, but it's gonna have to involve no drinking because I will not be drinking this weekend. Yes. I'm almost. So I haven't drank since November. Yeah, when the Katina man, the Brendo, and the Neil and we all went to the basketball game. That is the last time I drank. I didn't even drink on New Year's Eve, right? Yep. Which is kind of a thing for me. It was the first New Year's Eve, like, I think, since I was 18.
Yeah.
Not
That's
that
cool,
18
though. That's
is
cool.
the legal
If you go to something and you commit to it, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah.
No, for real, though. So we'll see. But yeah, it's going to have to involve no drinking there. So, Eddie R., just kidding. What'd you say, Eddie? Come on. What? I don't know what that means. Anyway, let's keep a look at the future. So I put another beak wetter here on the TQQs at 6313, lucky number 13. When anybody ever tells me 13 is an unlucky number, I say my mom's born on the 13th, right? That way I can dispel all the negative juju.
Like the hands there, yeah.
So we're looking for a print here on 6313. On the future, we'll look to wet our beak at some higher levels, but we'll look to get some profits there. Guys, yeah, we're printing nice right now on the future. 18,622. It looks as if, the Bulls are going to win out today. Papa, what else we got?
You see Bob W's comment?
No?
This is pretty funny.
Where?
When Sharif goes to the bar, he's lifting it.
You know what? I lift the bar at the gym, but not the bar at the actual bar. That would be interesting. I'd probably get booted over.
Raising the bar.
I like that. I like how the bar is a synonym here. It's not a synonym, sorry. There's so many ways that you can use bar.
You could be dropping bars too.
Oh, there you go.
Like,
there you go.
spitting lines.
Yeah, music bars as well. Yeah, come down. Sharif's mom is in the chat. All of a sudden, they've emerged.
Because you mentioned your mom, that's
on the 13th, right? Shout out to Sharif's mom there. What else we got in the chat? Para dropping, says Eddie.
I
Let's
couldn't
have a look
find
at
anything
Para.
on that.
All right, well.
But I have my own, yeah.
Okay, we'll have a look here at PARA. Oops, is that Paramount, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we've been looking for a deal to get struck on this name. I mean, how long do we have to wait for this deal to get struck? We heard about, several different interested parties. That Sharon Redstone, she owns this.
Sherry,
right?
yeah, Sherry Redstone is
yeah, so she's basically
killing it, yeah.
Yeah, she's kind of blocking anything. Anyway, here we get that big move up on earnings on Paramount. That was March 30th or something like that. March 20th. Sorry, we're not even at March 30th. Calm down, bro. We got off 11, hit 1285, and we're selling off a little bit. I'd say look for support at this level over here, this 1120. That was a long time support level on Para. So if we make it down there, that might be an interesting defense. So we'll have to wait and see. All right, baby, we got that fill at 6313 on the TQQs. Let's see how high we can go. Honest Abe, $2 super chat. Haven't drank since December. Nice, Sharif. Thank you, Honest Abe. Shout out to you, my man. Just in time, taking Tilray long? Question mark. I haven't even looked. We'll look in a second. Roland Joe, she must be proud of you. You think that? She's not. No, I'm kidding. She is proud of me. She just gave me hell for finishing some food there when I went there last week. I raided the pantry as I typically do, and come hands full home. And apparently I took something that I wasn't supposed to take last week. So she gave me an earful right now vis-a-vis text message. Oof. So I'll be having to bring whatever I took last week. I'll have to refresh it, Adara. So I'll have to be going up to Markham.
this week. So that's just
There you go. You have to go just so you can like pay back the food.
I have to. Otherwise, it'll just be like constant harassment. Willis Addison, $2 super chat. Thank you very much, Willis. Crushing Lulu dip by calls, 391. Entry, 405 strike.
my.
We're going to spin the money for you, my man. Shout out to you, Willis Addison. That is a hell of a trade there. And vis-a-vis options, great trade. Britt Grant, I'm consistent in the gym, just like you, but my downfall is heavy drinking Jamaican culture. Look, man, I mean, you know, you can put, you decide what you want to do, but like I understand if it's a cultural thing and, you know, you feel yourself, you're always going out having to drink. I was there with you. You know, all my friends drink, and sometimes they'll sit at the table. They're the boring one, right? And they're drinking, they're having a good time, and I'm just sitting there. But shout out to you, Britt Grant. I hope you have a great weekend, Britt, and I hope you did well today. With that said, I'm impressed. Thank you, Britt. Thank you. What are you looking at over there, Adara?
I just took another quick NVIDIA scalp. I have to say, I'm pretty proud. I'm not gonna lie, and I have to say I'm proud also because I struggled with NVIDIA earlier. Shout out to Eclectic Passions really in the chat as well, saying revenge and avenge are different. Thank you for saying that because I've always kind of thought the implication was a bit different, right?
Yeah.
Revenge gives me you're gonna go John Wick this trade, and avenge gives you're gonna like calm down. You know, you're gonna like talk it out between the two of you, right?
Yes.
You're gonna be like, I still deserve what's mine, but also we're not gonna go, you know, full ham, right? So that's what I tried to do here. We had some rough trades, and I decided to be a little bit more patient. Here, I just got involved 946.20 to 947. It actually looks like that range is still holding up. So quick 80 penny scalp, might take it again, but also we only have a minute and a half left until the show ends, which is crazy because I feel like time flies when you're having fun in these markets, man.
Yeah, today was a good day.
Oof.
Yeah, today was a good day. It was like, you know, I think there was definite direction in the market. I don't think that there was a lot of bamboozlement as sometimes there is during these consolidative markets. You're a little high, you're a little low, and that seems to chop me up a lot. Now, as I look up at my scanner, guys, BACK for any of those people who are wondering why I didn't talk about any small cap gappers, BACK, number one name on my scanner, up 86%, but below VWAP, not tradable. For me. The one that is tradable, though, is CGC. It just dipped below 7, and there's a bottoming tail candle at that 7 area, which shows buyer exuberance. I'm going to show this quickly here on the fly before we have to go. Here's the one makes it look better. There is that bottoming tail candle. Now, keep your eye for that 713, 712 print. If you can make another candle to break this hammer candle here, I think we could have good continuation on CGC into the afternoon. But that will have to be for Brenkels and Sean to take care of that. I'm sure they'll be looking at it. Brenkels was trading CGC today, so maybe he trades it in the afternoon or there.
Yeah, let's see how high we can take CGC. Congrats on your TQQQ trade.
Thank you.
And with that, we'll have to see you next week. Same bad time, same bad channel. Brendan's at the big desk.
Have a great weekend.
Hey guys, yeah, welcome back in. Happy Friday afternoon here as we head towards the weekend in what's turning into a nice move back higher. Overall for the market, just went green once again for the S&P 500. NASDAQ has been green for a while, still holding on to a 0.3% advance. Yeah.